Hey, Street Fight listeners. Glad to have you here. We're taking calls tonight. It's a Sunday night Street Fight, and we want to talk to you. Give us a call, 614-655-3887. That's the number to dial. Let's talk for a while. We're here on WCRS FM in Columbus, Ohio, and you can add that to your radio dial just by going to 92.7 or 98.3 if you're here in Columbus, Ohio. Otherwise, WCRSFM.org has a ton of great shows you can listen to. My name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quinby. We are Street Fight Radio. We've been doing this for 10 years now. Never stopping, never give up, never say die. You're going to have to hear what we think every single week. We do it on Wednesday nights, 7 p.m., and we do it on Sunday nights, 8 p.m. So come jump in the chat, come hang with the gang, act orangutan, let us know what's up. Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, or out on your podcast. Listening's just fine as well. And if you want to support what we do, head over to store.streetfightradio.com where there's pins and patches and stickers and a lack of shirts and other merchandise. I'm really dropping the ball on most of that. But eventually we'll be getting back together. We'll see. But if you want to support us, head over to patreon.com/streetfightradio where you can sign up to receive bonus audio, one extra show a week. We've moved out of Shocktober 3 and we're into the variety show phase of the season. So it's a grab bag for the holidays. And if you want to purchase any of the shows, any of the premium shows like 100 Million Tons of Steel, Teen Fight Radio, or any of the Shocktobers, they are available at store.streetfightradio.com.
Hey. How's it going?
Doing good. Doing excellent, I think. Yeah, I
just poured kratom into my ear. So
wow, that's a first.
Yeah. Yep. That's not the way to do it. You got to drink it. But yeah, that was my just panicked just now because I was chugging it and while you were doing the intro, and then I felt it go into my ear and I was like, oh, that's good. That's not where you want that stuff.
How I'm just wondering how does that work? How did it get above your ear?
I was drinking it in a very fucking immature way. Where it was like kind of lackadaisically.
Upside down, like sippy cup style?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, now I'm done. I'm gonna get it out of here. The inside of my ear is still wet, but I'm gonna fucking power through.
Thank you for that.
Got my command center here. Got Survivor Series on the second monitor. Just letting it roll. Probably won't pay any attention to it because I don't care. I gambled on 2 football games today and lost both. So all the money I won betting on wrestling is gone. So
why would you bet on that exactly?
I wanted more money.
And you what do you know about football?
Oh, nothing. I don't know shit about football. I just was like, oh, well, this one looks good and this one looks good. And yeah. I lost both. So, well, damn. Big Dave actually told me to bet on the one. I said, what's a good football game to bet on? He's like, this one's safe. And it was Buffalo winning by more than 7. And I was like, oh, well, that must be a sure thing. If that's the line, it's like,
yeah, easy.
Yeah. How could it possibly not work out? So, of course, like I bet, and then Buffalo loses by like 3 touchdowns, maybe 4. I don't even know. And then I was like panicking and I was like, I want to make that money back. So what I did was in my mind, I tried to cheat the system. Okay.
Yeah. Cause they don't ever think about that.
Well, I'm talking about the karmic system.
Really. Yes.
So like that system
can be swayed. That can be swayed.
Yeah. So I go like this. I go, well, what's my favorite football team? And when I did watch football, probably 10 years ago, my favorite football team was the Cincinnati Bengals. So I was like, I'm going to bet on the Raiders to beat the Bengals. And so I made that bet and the Bengals won. by a lot. So not my day out there in the betting world.
I mean, it's cracked me up for pretty much like a week now. When you the text from like a week ago with the wrestling bet, you're like, oh my God, they let some idiots that don't watch wrestling make the line. This is like a surefire win. I just keep going back and looking at that. Now you were like, this is a fluke. Are you serious? They just were like handing money away.
Hey, I did win one. Okay. But yeah, that other one was like, well, I mean, everybody thought that Miro was gonna win. So I thought, like, you gotta be crazy to fucking not think that's gonna happen. And then boom, I lose. And now an account that I had $70 in now just has $0 or $1 in it. So
yeah, well,
no more betting until February.
Maybe next time.
February, I'll bet again on wrestling, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
What's in February?
The Revolution pay-per-view. I was gonna bet on Survivor Series, which is happening tonight, but I don't know what is going to happen on that show. I don't know anything about WWE anymore. I haven't watched it in a very long time, other than like on in the background while I'm doing other stuff, which is podcasting, and it's next to me on the other side of me, so I don't even like really look at it. So yeah. I guess I should also ask for this. Me and Brett on well, it'll come out Friday. I guess we're recording it on Tuesday. So if you have not listened to this by Tuesday, or if you've listened to this before Tuesday, we are doing a Get Motivated episode about Dr. Keith Abloh. And if you know of any good stuff with him, send it to me, Brian, so that I can look through it and listen to it and read about it. He's our motivational guy. I'm going to see if he can get me motivated tomorrow, actually.
Excellent idea.
Get me rolling, get me feeling fucking fired up. It's Thanksgiving week. It's the start to the holiday season, which I don't know. I mean, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. What I like about Keith Abloh is right here on the page, it says people also ask, why did Keith Abloh lose his license?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
So that's a renegade thinker right there. Too dangerous of thinking, maybe.
I think, and I'm not 100% sure about this. Me too.
Oh, no. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, actually,
he's a piece of shit. Yeah.
Yep. He allegedly had sex with multiple patients and diverted controlled substances from patients and procured his license renewal fraudulently and displayed a pointed firearm. This guy's got it all.
Yeah.
He's done it all, baby.
He's not going to motivate me.
He'll motivate me probably if he points a gun at you, it's going to get you going.
That gets you moving. That's true. I'll dance. I'll start dancing.
He'll get you to do. Oh my God. He's written novels too. If I had more time, I'd read one of the novels.
Can't wait.
Yeah. This guy, he seems like a real, never mind. One of the books he has is called Critical Race Theory. Okay. Or no, that's from Cornell West. That's not bad. Okay.
Sure. That's the good kind.
Fuck.
I did want to say thank you to everybody that messaged me. I realized I sounded like a shitty attitude last week, but I did appreciate it, and I'm not in as much of a shitty attitude. Also, Formula One is the fucking greatest. It was really good today, and Lewis Hamilton is so impressive. It's incredible. But I wanted to say to you, Brian, is that Formula One, the races are pretty boring, and that I wanted to mention that IndyCar does have like the most exciting racing with like the fast speeds and everything going around corners. They do way more passing and shit in IndyCar. And I got news that I have tickets for Indy 500 next year. So It's like one of the best things ever. Yeah, it's like it's amazing to watch. It's unreal.
The Independent 500.
Yep.
Is that what it is?
Independent Indiana.
Yeah.
Independence Day, Indiana. Independence Day, Indiana.
Yes, the Independent 500. So it's going to be.
And thank you to that Matt Bone. That's who got him.
That's very nice.
Indie buddy. Thank you.
It's going to be a wild week this week. We have, Thanksgiving coming up and Black Friday coming up, which I don't think Black Friday is going to go off this year.
I've been told it's happening. I've had several emails and they're like, I feel like it's already here. I don't feel like that is a thing anymore. I guess there will be some, there is a tradition. There is it just doesn't feel right unless you're getting up at 5 a.m. and getting fancy coffees and then going to like crowd to fight a crowd, It is fun.
I did go to Target on Friday night and they already had the TVs out.
Really?
That they're selling. Yeah, they had the extra TVs out, like in the women's clothing section. They had TVs too. Like they just wherever they could fit some TVs, they put some more TVs that people could buy. So
yeah, I had an interesting thing that happened on Friday. There's a pallet store in town called Bargain Galore, and they're only open on Fridays and Saturdays. And they basically have everything at manufacturer's price, and then you just pay 50% of retail. Like that's their gimmick.
Okay.
But there's a line every Friday morning because they take pictures of everything they've got. So there's always a gigantic line. And I'll tell you one thing about having this black eye is that people like you immediately. Like it's like people treat you like a dog with like a cereal box on its head. Like you're just some lovable scamp. Like,
yeah.
I go to Bargains Galore. There's a big ass line. It's cold as fuck. I walk towards this guy and he looks at me and just starts beaming real big. And he says, "Ooh, goddamn, you look cold as fuck." And I was like, I am. These pants were a horrible choice. And I start complaining about the pants. And then we're going on and on. And then the lady behind us joins in it and was talking about we were just talking about how we're already late on buying Christmas shit. And all the fucking shit that you can get at this place and all of our best finds that we've had. And it was really good. It was some of the best line waiting that I've had in a long time.
Yeah. Bargain Galore.
It's the shit. I got some crazy stuff. I got a Mario Party for the Nintendo Switch for $20. I got I got some other stuff. Can't say, but yeah, they had trampolines.
I never heard of
furniture.
A pallet store. I never heard of a pallet store.
So yeah, there are people that just buy stuff in bulk. Like they get returns or pallets of like Amazon returns or shit that they don't send back, leftover merch, all of that. And they just buy it in bulk. And then they, like I said, they just price it as 50% off retail.
Nice. Okay.
It's great.
Maybe I need to go to a pallet store.
It's fun. It's a good, everybody there is to get some deals. Also, they have fake purses. They do have a pretty goddamn good fake purses.
Okay. All right. Fake purses. I have to get my wife's birthday is December 13th. So I have that whole situation like right in my face situation.
My ex's is that. And I bought something for her when I was on vacation. Just because I knew I had to get something from Charlotte, for her mom.
Yeah. Oh, I
guess for me too. It's from me. I care about her. Right. So I have to give her a gift.
Sorry. I had to do I'm opening up the chat. I have a whole thing going on here.
Let's open up this chat.
Yeah. I just was checking the chat because Jason said the internet at the studio is not doing great. So, okay. But it looks like everything seems to be working right now.
Yeah, we need all your thoughts and prayers for the internet, folks. Please.
Yeah, it's been raining all day, and I think they got a whole. It's probably what we in the X business used to call squirrel chews, which is exactly what it sounds like. Squirrels chewed on the line. Then when it rains, rain gets in there, and then boom. You got slow internet.
There we go.
And there could be people in the studio area using all the Wi-Fi. That's a problem. So who knows what's going to happen here. Me and Brett might just have to do this without being online, but I'm not even going to worry about it. Everything looks good to me when I look at it online, but who knows?
Let me close my 400 tabs that I have open.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not going to do anything if it's the studio internet. Like, there's nothing we can do about it, right? Because this all runs through the studio, which has bad internet. So
damn studio.
All. Yeah, goddamn the studio. Maybe we can. What is happening? Oh, okay. I'm gonna start a record, Brett.
Okay.
This sucks. I'm gonna just start recording in 1 second here. Remind me later to update. Start recording.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't work. Okay.
All right. Well, we just gotta be nimble and flexible, and make it work, right? No excuses. Yeah. Just do it. Can't do anything about squirrel chews. Squirrel chews sounds like a decent candy bar, maybe. Yeah. I would eat one. Maybe peanut like a maple or like a maple something, because they hang out in the fucking trees.
That's good. Yeah.
Maple peanut.
I'm gonna do this. I'm fixing this real quick. Just let me oh my God. I'm gonna cry in a minute. If okay, everybody's saying it sounds good now, so let's just go with it, and I will try to record. I will try to get the record going. Do we have any calls, Brett?
Yeah, we got one or two.
All right, well, if you want to call in, and let's take a call, and then we'll be crap later on. And okay. Then we'll be crap a little bit more later on. How's that sound?
Yeah. I'm thinking of maybe like a maple payday. Could be a squirrel chew.
A squirrel chew. No, squirrels like
small
nuts. I don't know what the maples thing.
Payday is nuts. Payday is almost totally nuts. Remember?
You're right. Well, I think you just do like bar. A Baby Ruth.
What about situation. Munch was a really good peanut bar. Do they still make that?
Munch bar?
Yeah.
I've never heard of one in my entire life.
Wasn't there one? Maybe not. Okay. I don't know. All right. First call. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, this is Lucas from Connecticut. How are you guys?
Great. How are you, Lucas?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. So I wanted to call in and talk a little bit about the work I've been doing part-time with my union as a new organizer.
Awesome.
Sweet. What are you doing?
So there's a home care agency that operates in like southwestern Connecticut that has an agreement with my union to allow us to contact their employees for we got like a 2-month window. Where we're allowed to contact them, and they say that they won't retaliate or interfere or try to stop us. We have like a neutrality agreement, and I've been 3 days a week driving around trying to get folks on board with standing up against their bosses and collectively demanding more for themselves.
Nice.
So what?
I don't. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go. No, you go.
I don't really. Okay, I'll go. I don't really understand why a company would ever sign a neutrality agreement and allow us to do this. I'm pretty new to the unionization organization stuff, but I think part of the reason why they allowed it and why they're on board with it is because they thought we wouldn't have any success in speaking to their workers. Because a huge percentage of their workers only speak Polish, Ukrainian, and Russian.
So they think it's not going to work?
Yeah, so the first day that I went out, it was me and this guy Julio, and we're going to people's houses. I cannot pronounce their last names. I can sometimes pronounce their first names. We get to the door. They have no idea what we're talking about. They don't understand much English, and I don't speak any Ukrainian, Russian, or Polish. But the chapter in New York City has a woman that speaks all three of those languages. So she's been driving from Brooklyn to Connecticut to help us out, and I've been partnered up with her, and it's awesome, dude. I don't like.
Holy
so
shit.
It's awesome on one hand because I don't have to do any of the organizing. Really, I'm just like the chauffeur almost. I try to help out, and I hold the pens and everything, but me and this woman show up to their house. We knock on their doors. They look at us kind of like, what's going on? What the hell is happening here? She starts speaking their language, and like immediately a switch flips and they're down to listen to what she has to say.
Wow. That's awesome. You just gotta be the chauffeur. That's easy. That's easy work.
Kinda. Yeah.
That's cool.
I love doing chauffeur.
We get people. It's awesome. I love driving, and I've got no issues with it. And I threw on some Gogol Bordello because they've got some songs that are in Ukrainian. And she was like, "Oh, this is Ukrainian music." Like, yeah, kinda, sorta.
Yeah. That's what we call it.
Yeah. That's what people call it in America. Ukrainian music.
So we got to this one house, and I asked the guy, so you work for this home care agency? And he was like, no, but my mom does. I was like, oh, that's strange. Our records that we got from the employer indicate that you work there. Well, since they think you work there, we need your signature on this union card. So you could do it for your mom, even if your mom's the one that does the job. We can get better health insurance benefits. It's not a guarantee. I always we make sure that they understand it's not like sign this card, you get this stuff. The way the process works, we have to get 30% of their employees to sign a card. And once we have that number, then we can have a vote. And as long as the votes, the yes votes outweigh the no votes, even if only 4 people vote, if 3 of them are yes and 1 is no, then a union is formed and they sit down and negotiate a contract. So everything is on the table, and nobody pays any union dues until a contract has been negotiated. So other than being scared by their employer doing some shitty union busting, and which they have done, they're mailing them letters telling them if somebody comes to your home and you ask them to leave and they try to resist, call the police. And one guy did threaten to call the police on us. He was less than thrilled to speak with us.
All right. Well, I mean, you got to just listen, look for those cues.
Some people hate the union.
I mean, I'm not like gonna stand there and argue with somebody, especially in a language that I don't speak. And I'm certainly not going to be waiting around for the police to show up if they get to the point where they've called them. Like you're not going to bully someone into signing their union card. So I'm not getting the cops called on me.
If you had 2x4 with some nails sticking out of it, maybe that could have convinced them otherwise.
If you had a gun,
that might do it.
If you had a gun,
yeah, that could probably work. But
it.
That's not what we're going for.
If you had a gun, you could get them to sign it, and then when they pick up the phone to call the police, you could shoot the phone out of their hand too. That could work.
That sounds like some street fight Rapid City. I don't know if I could roll that high. My dexterity is not that high. Whatever check I would have to do.
Yeah. Because if you're shooting something out of somebody's hand, you also have to spin the gun around on your finger.
Right.
It's
a routine. It's not just one thing. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, it's a routine. Have you ever watched trick shooting? Have you ever watched that? Where the guys they basically make a obstacle course for gun guys, right?
Right.
And they have like a sidearm, like Glock, and they have to start at the starting line, and then they pull the gun out of their thing, and they have to shoot a bunch of different targets as fast as possible. And it looks goofy as shit when you watch it, but it's not because as you can imagine, the people that are like really good trick shooters are kind of dorks. You know what I mean? So they don't look cool or anything,
but they are. But technically are.
Yeah, but it's also kind of a not high physicality sport.
Sure.
It's like sub bowling. exercise. Really, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I bet you get huffing,
There's,
running around, laying on the ground and shit, doing barrel rolls and shit.
You don't do barrel rolls,
I saw
dude. You
footage.
stand up through the whole thing.
Oh, in one. Those are the people that stand in one place, right?
Yes.
And
There
just
should be like,
yeah,
you know what there should be, dude?
Hmm.
Like I just invented this, and correct me if I'm wrong, caller. We'll get right back to you. I think you can appreciate this idea that we have, okay? Or I have. So what you do for this is you sort of hang. I'm trying to. Okay, so underneath the person, right? There is like a whack-a-mole sort of situation.
Okay.
And connected to it is boxing gloves with like a fist inside the boxing glove, and they just randomly pop up and punch you underneath the chin while you're shooting. Then I think you got something there. I think we got something there with that sport.
Okay.
Shooting
You like
competitions need defense.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
thank you. I think that's true. It ain't a sport unless there's defense.
right.
And
That's your old school way of being.
I mean, every good sport has defense.
Okay.
That's part of this. Well, basketball's better when there's not defense, to tell you the truth.
You like to just people showing off?
Yeah.
Slam dunk competitions. That's
Yeah,
what
trick
everyone
shot.
watches.
Trick shot Instagram is my favorite basketball.
Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
My favorite sports team is Dude Perfect.
What, Dude Perfect? They should do like a Blue Man Group thing and take over some arenas and do some trick
do.
shot shit. Oh, they do?
They do.
Good.
They just did one here recently. Dude Perfect was just here at
Fuck
the
yeah.
Schottenstein Center.
Wow.
You ever heard of Dude Perfect? I'm asking the caller. You ever heard of Dude Perfect?
Yeah, that's it's like Nitro Circus, Travis Pastrana, but instead of dirt bikes, they have ping pong balls and frisbees.
Yeah, and it's sort of, I mean, not necessarily Christian, but it's like a Christian version of Nitro Circus.
Yeah, for incredibly bored, chaste people.
Yeah, it's sort of like if Jackass was like youth group minister.
Yes,
is how it feels.
Let's throw this fucking football off the top of the building. Right.
I feel like their best shit's probably on YouTube. Like seeing that in person probably doesn't make it a whole lot better.
I paid $180 for up front, and it was totally worth it. You could see like they were genuinely happy with what they were doing. Like they were really into it, and like I had a blast.
I mean, I'll say this about Dude Perfect though. Dude Perfect is an incredibly impressive thing to do live.
Oh yeah. No, I would be
believe.
screaming. And it's so fun to have to get crazy about like a water bottle, like with a screaming, roaring stadium full of people while someone like throws a basketball across the room.
I mean, I would fucking freak out if I went and they even made one, like they could miss all of the shots except for one.
Oh yeah.
And I would absolutely lose my fucking mind when they made that one.
Yeah, well, this has already commodified on TikTok. There's people that go live and they will just sit down with like construction buckets full of ping pong balls, and they will set up a little scenario and they'll just bounce ping pong balls over and over again on it for hours.
Yeah, it's gotta be good. It's gotta be very, because I wasn't super totally impressed with Dude Perfect when me and my daughter used to watch the videos, because it's like you can edit the videos. So it's like Zoloff Deschanel says in the chat, it feels like the problem with Dude Perfect live is that trick shots are like one make for 1,000 misses.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like Dude Perfect live could be great.
Yeah, but I also think if they do something repeatable, I mean, they have some amount of accuracy and skill. So it might not be, they don't have to all do ridiculous stuff, but if they can like pinpoint throw a football into something, it's enough.
I'm going to learn that. I'm gonna become one of those guys.
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
become one of
join
those-
Dude Perfect. Actually,
that'd be a great hobby for you.
be a good goal to have. It's like
Yeah.
guys that decide they're gonna be in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I love those guys. I don't know why they do it or how they decide to do it, but like
Just
like the guy,
they want acknowledgement.
the guy that put all the cigarettes in his mouth. I mean, he's famous forever, dude.
Yeah.
Forever. So,
All right. So what's the next round? What's the next thing for the union? Like, where do you go from here?
We're still in the process of getting we need like somewhere around 130 cards because they have something like 390 employees, so 30% of that. But
Okay.
we're just still trying to reach out to folks. A lot of people are like not home or don't want to answer the door, or, you know, there's only one of us that speaks Russian, Ukrainian, and Polish. So a lot of times when I'm with the organizer that does speak those languages, meanwhile, like while we're driving from house to house, other people are driving from house to house. And if they encounter somebody who's willing to talk to her on the phone, then they give her a phone call. So while I'm driving us to the next house, she's organizing
Oh my
for
God.
all of the other houses as well. She's so busy, and she's driving
Wow.
3 hours, like 3 days a week to come up and help us with it. It's
That's
huge.
incredible. Yeah, what an amazing person.
But these people are making like $13.25 an hour, which is 25 cents more than Connecticut minimum wage. And they are doing like some really fucking essential work, helping these people like get dressed and bathe and eat and just have some sort of like quality of life. And they're getting paid bare minimum. And I think the reason is because the owners of the company know that even though these people are like educated, some of them like were lawyers in Russia before they came here, and now without being able to speak English, it's real tough to find work. And one person that we went to, the kid who was saying like, no, he doesn't work there, but his mom does. When my coworker was speaking to him in Ukrainian, he revealed to her that his mother doesn't have, you know, a quote unquote legal right to work in America. So he has the job on paper, but she does the job. And we don't give a shit about citizenship status. Like, that's not our concern. We're not there to like investigate or report on any of that.
Right.
But I'm trying to keep it kind of vague, not saying any names or anything. But yeah, so
That's crazy.
once
cool.
we get that done, I guess we've got like another month to get the rest of the cards. And I'm not really sure where I will fit in at that point, because I'm primarily just a home care worker myself, but have a flexible enough schedule. And during like the election cycle, I was doing member political organizer work, which was a lot of setting up phone banks and doing phone banks on behalf of politicians that I didn't necessarily love. And that work was much less appealing to me than this organizing work. But hopefully it turns into a full-time position with the union for me. I've worked in nonprofits before. I used to work for the Boy Scouts as soon as I graduated from college. So I've done the nonprofit grind before. And I know that they kind of take advantage of people believing in the mission and whatnot. But now at 30 years old, I'm ready to be taken advantage of again, and also have health insurance.
Brett is too. He's been telling me he's ready to be taken advantage of.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
Dude, that
Sexually.
show you guys were talking about, like having a job part-time collectively. I had an idea, and I thought about like mentioning it at some point, but now seems like a good time. So I've done a lot of applications and a lot of interviews because I'm primarily a job coach, and I would absolutely love to like get a job doing some like, you know, food service or retail, whatever. You guys tell me the job, I'll try to get it. You give me assignments while I'm there, and like I could get some content for the show, like a field reporter type of situation. It could be funny. It could be great.
Okay.
That's as fleshed out as I got it. Like, that's it. That's what I got.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, definitely message me and we'll try to figure it out, because it would be nice to be able to get, because we're always trying to get calls from people at certain types of jobs, and we're rarely very successful at it. Because we were looking for teachers this week. I don't know if we got any teachers listening right now that could call in about parent teacher conferences, because me and Brett both hate them, and we were just wondering if teachers hate them as much as we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. Message me. Maybe we'll try to put something together.
Word, will do. Well, my last thought before I scoot and let somebody else talk your ears off. Last time I called in, I did the pulling your leg story about the lady who tricked me into buying her groceries. I thought about calling in again with another fake story, but this one. So there's a cop that parks like in the parking lot at the end of my street, and I really wanted to like call the police. Not the emergency number, but call the police department and say like, yeah, there's somebody in a white SUV parked at the end of my street. They have a gun and they're making me feel very unsafe. If you guys could have them removed, I'd be very appreciative. And then when they ask for like a description of the vehicle and whatnot, that's when I slowly say like, oh, well, it says police on the side. And, like just call them, but act like it's a real problem and get them out of here.
They probably would be very mad at you. I'm just guessing they'd be really hot under the collar if you did that. And look, if you want to do it, fucking with the police is always funny, but it's also always dangerous. And don't have any contraband on you if you do it.
And as I said, they're parked at the end of my street, so it wouldn't be long before they were at my driveway instead.
They would come and bug you too. They would come and they would knock on your door and be like, this guy's, hey, quit playing on the phone sort of thing.
Yeah, so, that's what it would be. Quit playing on the phone.
It's exactly what they would say. Quit playing on the phone.
My cousin had a friend that used to have like wild parties, and his biker buddies would be doing burnouts on their motorcycles in the street in front of his house. And the cops would show up every time and he'd be like, what do you want me to do? They're adults. They're in the street. They're off my property. I can't do anything about that. Leave me alone. Get out of here. Stop harassing me. And it became such a problem that he said, like, I don't want the town police to ever come to my house. You got that? And they said, okay, we got that. And then somebody was ODing and was in their car and rode from the apartments across the street into his driveway and crashed into his garage. And he called the cops and he's like, hey, you got somebody ODing here. And the cops were like, oh, what's the address? No, we're not coming. So fuck.
Oh shit!
Wow,
yeah,
wow.
Fuck the police.
Another tall tale.
Yeah. Did we get tall tailed?
I don't know.
I don't either. Well, thanks for calling in.
As far as I know, that one's true. I wasn't at that party, but I sometimes often say all cops are bastards around the house and whatnot. The other day, my 11-year-old said, "Is bastard's a bad word?" And I was like, "Where did you hear that?" Because outside of that context, I never say bastard.
Right.
Generally.
It's also not a bad word necessarily.
Bastard's a great word.
Yeah. You goddamn.
It's pretty fantastic.
You bastards. Yeah.
All right, you bastards. Well, I'm out of here. Have a good
Well, thanks for calling in.
Keep up the good work. Love you both.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for calling in, you bastard. Now it's just the bastard show. See, we
bastards. We're just two bastards acting bastardly.
Couple of real fucking bastards bastarding it up out there.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a conservative Facebook meme that they didn't show up to the OD.
It does sound sort of to me like,
and then they got what they deserved.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Or yes. I'm trying to think of it would have Dirty Harry pointing a gun at the cameras for the meme, I guess. Because Dirty Harry's made they make a lot of Dirty Harry memes over there.
Dirty Harry's still at it. I mean, Clint has been making movie year after year.
I know. I want to watch Cry Macho. I just haven't had the chance to watch. I watched the weird one where he becomes a drug mule.
Yeah.
Driving over the border into Mexico. That one's pretty funny. But I'm pretty excited to see Cry Macho. I don't even know what it's about yet, but I'm sure it's something where he's like an old curmudgeonly guy that's like probably intolerant of other races and stuff.
Yes. He's something he's comfortable with. He's in his the end of his career. He's just doing what comes natural to him.
What feels good. He's doing what feels good to him.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Okay. Let the angry old man make a movie every year. Was he? I wonder how old he is. I'm gonna Google how
I
old he
think
is.
1 billion years old. If I
I
remember
think he's
right.
in the 90s.
90s.
He might be in his 90s, dude. Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. He's a
1930.
90s dude.
So it would be okay. 2021 minus 1930.
They don't tell you no more. They make you do the math.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
The internet's not bad. Like all services have gotten worse. They don't even tell you the answers anymore.
He's 91.
Okay, still doing it big time.
Fucking dude is 91 and he's still making. I wonder if he's even making the movies. You know, like, can we do that? Can we become guys that are like, you know, Clint Eastwood's not even really making his movies. That's actually a big false bullshit thing. He's actually, they use his name so that they can sell the movies, but he's just sitting on set in a director's chair while somebody else directs the whole movie.
Sure.
That's my new Clint Eastwood.
You're going after him?
Yep. I am going after him. You know, he's a conservative guy. So I feel like I can go after him. You know, 91-year-old. I'm really picking up. You know, when I was younger, it was like they didn't want you to pick on people younger than it's wrong to pick on people that are younger than you, but it's not wrong to pick on people that are 91 because they're like way older.
They should know better.
Yes, they should know better.
Next call. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight? What are you doing, Nicky Jake? That's my kid.
Hey, this is Walt from Rapid City, South Dakota.
What's up, Walt?
Howdy.
South Dakota
Rapid City too. Yeah. What's going on?
Also, what's going on? What's the
Russian
weather?
Dandy, if you know me from Twitter. But yeah.
What's the temperature there right now?
Oh, it's still a little bit above, probably 40 outside.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Nice and crisp.
It's kind of the
I wanna
banana
go to
belt
South Dakota.
with the Black Hills, the Pasapa right here. So
What's that?
it's not, the Black Hills where Mount Rushmore is. You know, we're on the Treaty of 1851. Yeah. So.
Oh, I want to go to South Dakota really bad because, like,
I was gonna tell you guys, there's like, if you guys are going west, it's a nice place if you're either going to Denver or up into Montana if you're doing a tour. So probably can help you book something. So
SD baby.
Not but there's a place called Ernie November's that's out here in the High Plains. It's pretty nice for that shit. So.
Well, we are gonna start booking stuff.
Yeah,
soon enough.
If you're looking for a stopover somewhere coming there or back, Rapid might not be too bad. So.
Yeah, we're finally gonna get our motorcycle licenses and do a whole tour on motorcycles through the West.
We are literally 35 minutes from Sturgis, and we're 45 minutes from Deadwood. So
wow.
And Deadwood does have roulette now. So
wow. Okay, that's everything we need to do. Book a show.
Yeah.
Now that we're going on tour too. Now that we're going to be able to go back on tour again, I got an announcement. I'm going to be purchasing some kendo sticks for me and Brett to hit each other with when we're on stage.
Smart.
I've never heard somebody describe
those are always
idea
available at the
smart.
Sturgis rally. So
it peps you up. It really shakes you into existence.
You know those things you can get 4 of them for $35.
Okay, damn, shipped.
I don't know if shipped, but
locally?
That's the price of them is 4 for $35. So we could slap each other around on stage with kendo sticks if we really wanted to.
Okay.
And then we could maybe even let people from the audience come up and we could slap them with it too. I don't know if the venues would be into that.
Well, yeah. We can
I don't know. Some of them host like pride fighting stuff, or at least they did back when I was in high school. So I mean, you got rally. Everybody's got a fight license.
That's a good idea, though. At the end of the show, if people bring up like $5, we'll hit you with a stick.
Yeah.
The $5 is your waiver.
Yeah. That proves you wanted it. You paid for a service.
That's the legal mumbo jumbo me and Brett get into.
Right.
The $5 will smack you with a stick. And also, when we get back out on tour, I will start bringing a Sawzall with us, and
Oh, you're gonna do it? You're gonna prove
Yeah.
that you can let it bounce on your skin and not get hurt?
that
We got a
has
whole
been
carnival show going.
that has been one of the most
Yeah, yeah.
enduring things of this show from the past like 6 months. Is every now and then I will get a DM that says, "Hey, don't touch your ass with a Sawzall." It's like we've been doing this for 10 years now, right? And
Yeah.
people have worried about one of the things we've been able to do for the past, I don't know, 6 or 7 of those years is there's always a significant portion of the audience that worries about us.
Yes.
That
Oh,
we're gonna
no,
do
no, no,
something
no.
stupid.
No. I think you guys got it made. I'm surprised you guys don't have an XM contract yet. But
Oh, they
Oh,
wouldn't.
I don't know.
eventually.
They wouldn't have us.
Yeah,
They
I
wouldn't.
I don't know. I mean, there's channels that would have you. I mean, they used to have Air American. It did pretty good stuff, but I don't know. I'm kind of surprised. But
If they did, if Sirius got a hold, well, here's the thing. I actually talked about this on a Shocktober. Sirius has never even gotten a hold of Chapo before. They've never even.
yeah. Well, I
Sent
feel
out
like
a
yours is
feeler.
like it's more. Your stuff makes more sense, I guess. Like I could see you guys being on the same channel, but like, I mean, your Shocktober stuff, like converting from Stern or something like that, or like Bubba and stuff like that, or like just you could have something on like Raw Dog Comedy like a couple of times a week, and like I could totally see that fitting. And Chapo's like a little harder to fit in. You have to like resurrect a whole left like talk channel that I don't know exists on Sirius anymore.
But we could whack each other around on the air too.
Yeah.
With
Yeah, I would-
Kendall stuff.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I would fall
how
on the tax on the radio. You can record me landing on tax in the studio.
If somebody paid me and Brett each $100,000 a year, we do all kinds of stuff like that. The tax, the Sawzall.
We would put aluminum foil in the fucking microwave. We're crazy.
We're nuts. We're fucking
Oh
nuts.
man.
Yeah, that's another thing is like that would be very fun. So what's going on tonight?
Oh, I was just calling up because I got fired last week, and it was rather.
What'd you do?
Being too cool.
I do a variety of things. I'm kind of waiting. This will kind of unwind, but Rapid City is a weird place. First of all, because we have this giant Air Force base, but which is one of the reasons I moved back from Minneapolis. But I was working at a place that does stone countertops, and I was working in the shop, and I was doing all the maintenance, like cleaning, keeping all the sludge off the floor, keeping the pumps running, keeping the dust. And they moved me out to inventory, which I have a ton of experience going back to college. I worked in the network telecommunications warehouse, and then I worked at a place in Chicago that did like scientific water faucets, and I worked in a tire warehouse, and like I know how to do like cycle counts and like receiving and like shipping and all that kind of stuff. And like I get out there, it's about 3 weeks, and like I already knew there was a mess. So about 2 weeks ago, I took 2 days off because I said Wednesday I came in, I was planning to do it. I did a cycle count at our slab facility, and we're missing 140 slabs that each weigh a ton, which weigh somewhere between which cost somewhere between $1,000 and $5,000 each.
Jesus.
So our inventory is close to $500,000 off. Like,
how do you lose something that weighs a ton?
Oh, let me continue. This has to deal with the Air Force thing. It's pretty weird. So my boss's boss is this weird dude. But anyway, I go and do the other one. I get sorted out. Looks like we're somewhere between probably, it's hard to tell because what the cost on the shipping, I haven't seen them all, but $500,000 to $750 million, or $500,000 to $750,000 off on inventory. Just missing these pieces of stone that are shipped from around the world that are like 12 feet long by 6 feet tall, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, and so this is just gone. I go unload a truck on Friday, I get fired. But my boss is this weird dude who claims to have been in the Air Force, and he has all this kind of shit up on his wall. And here at the Air Force Base, we've hosted since the beginning of the program the B-1B bomber, if you know that. It's the one before the B-2. It's the one that actually fucking works. which is scary as shit.
Wait, is the
And
B2
they're
the
about
stealth?
to.
It's
The B1 is
B2?
the one that's got the tilt wings like the Tomcat, and like fucking can fly like 12 feet off the ground.
But let me say
The
this.
B2 is the flyest one, though.
That's what I thank you, Brett. I was just
Well,
about to
it kind
say.
of works. The B1 works really well.
Yeah, it doesn't have to.
They
But
won't
it
admit
looks
that
so
they
hard. The B2 looks so hard.
I know. You know what it
It looks like
Hold on.
fantasy shit.
I'll tell you what it looks like.
But
I just
anyway,
have
we're
give you
supposed
a-
to get the B. We're supposed to get the B21 now, which has just been authorized, and we're supposed to get 100 of these. And as much as I can consider as this, my boss's boss is this weird dude whose whole dream is to somehow be involved in this Lockheed. Who knows? It's a skunk work at this point. The last we've heard, it's a Groom Lake here. But we're supposed to get 100 of them. They're supposed to maybe fly with the bone. Our base is, the Air Force wants to invest like $500 billion over the next 4 years here. And so there's all kinds of weird shit. Like there, stone countertops for really rich people, you know, which cost like $40,000 to $60,000 each, just fucking disappear. And that's how the economy works here with the DoD and military contractors. And if you point that out, you get fired.
So here's what I wanted to here's something I gotta say first. The B2, Brett.
Yeah.
It looks like a Honda sports car. That's what it looks like to me, which is
Okay.
a tight sports car, you know, like a Honda Civic Type
That's
R.
down by,
If you look that up,
yeah, those are based down by St. Louis by Francis from Hell of a Way to Die.
I gotta fucking
Uh-huh.
We
go
got the
down there
B1.
and-
They're here in Texas.
I
Yeah,
gotta go there and see if they'll sell me one. If
I
they
mean, I
don't
just-
work,
The propaganda was just so fucking intense, man. They
So-
put those on
well,
everything, and they showed
Brett-
them off so much when I was a kid. They were just like the most amazing, coolest
We got-
thing. It was like a Lamborghini
yeah,
Countach.
We got yeah. Well, we got food not bombs here, and I know you do food not bombs here, or where you're at too. And
Uh-huh.
like we're an old missile base. All our missiles got knocked out in '96, basically. So we don't have ICBMs here anymore, but we
Uh-huh.
did. And then we had nuclear weapons here until '96. Well, they weren't authorized. They stopped being authorized in '96, and I've heard they've been pulled out. The latest is 2012. But like the planes we have here aren't authorized to do nuclear weapons. But with this new plane, the B-21 they're trying to put in, they're trying to reauthorize nuclear weapons, which is a big no-no with the B-1 and putting nuclear weapons on it, because it's a mess. You'd have to read on Wikipedia why exactly.
well, I'm
but,
gonna tell
yeah.
you, tell you right now, the B-21. I googled that. It's just a ripoff of the B-2 of the stealth bomber that we
It's,
were all
well,
with
if you're
in the
actually out
90s.
here, they'll show it in the paper and it's on the news. And like there are 3 or 4, like it's about, the last time I saw it, it's about a third of a B2 or half the size of a B2. And like
Oh.
you can't tell. They have 3 or 4 different designs. Like this is seriously like it's still under development. So
It looks
I'm a Cadillac
some,
guy,
some red
but they're
alert Command and
guaranteed
Conquer
100
shit.
here. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
is
mean-
fucking weird shit out here, man.
I'm a Cadillac bro. So like I like a big bomber if I was gonna fly one. I mean, here's the thing. The reason I didn't get my pilot's license is because I couldn't get the B-21.
Uh-huh.
Like that, because I was like,
That's
I'm
the
not
only
gonna
reason.
fly some fucking square ass Cessna
right.
or something like, you know
Some
what I'm
prop
saying?
engine plane.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get in it some kind of a stupid jet or like airliner. Like
Right.
those things look ridiculous.
Right.
Just-
It's like
dude,
driving a minivan.
Yeah.
If you're driving around like a commercial airliner.
Thank you. Yes, even the fucking coolest private jet
Yeah.
still looks like shit compared to the
G6.
B2.
G6 sucks. Yeah. Compared.
It's bullshit. So that's why I never got my
I don't know.
pilot's license.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm more of a Navy man myself. So.
Oh, I mean, I,
I don't
want
like
a boat.
I don't like the military.
Me neither. And you know,
Oh.
the thing about the Navy,
What about the
though,
Coast Guard? Even the
No.
Coast Guard?
No.
don't they catch people with drugs?
They probably hurt people too. Seems
I
like
think they
very-
catch people with
I don't know.
drugs.
Most of the people I know have been in the military ain't too bad. So it's tough, especially out here. They try to track you into it. So
Sure.
Hell yeah, they do. I mean, they do
Yeah.
that everywhere, though.
you know too much shit when you're already living like 8 blocks from a nuclear silo. So
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember
Yeah.
when they would do those home shows like on HGTV and they would have a decommissioned like nuclear silo and somebody would like
well, if you
buy
guys come
it
out
and live
here,
in it?
about 50 miles east of here is Interior, South Dakota, and they have the National Museum for the Minuteman program. And then if you go down to Cheyenne, they've got the Peacemaker program. It's been declassified, and they've set up like whole really interesting museums. Like the one at the Minuteman, like it's pretty cool. Like they have an actual like command capsule you can go down in, and the whole thing like from war games and shit. But it's like the actual thing there, and like you'll walk around and they have a seat you can sit in, and then like you're walking around, it's like, oh, 1970, Israel had at least 80,000 had at least 80 nuclear warheads. And like, this is something that our government doesn't admit right now, but like the National Museum run by the Minuteman and like the Smithsonian and stuff will admit that in the middle of nowhere in South Dakota. So it's weird.
Yeah.
So how did you get fired though? I mean,
Well, I unloaded the semi, and my boss came over and he told me it was a hostile work environment, so he had to let me go.
How? I mean, what were you screaming at people?
I was because I was because they were setting up stuff dangerous. It was a total mess out there. So I do scream at people when they try to fucking hurt you. So
Okay. Well, hey.
Yeah.
Did you get another job? Are you?
I'm looking. I'm thinking about going to grad school in Laramie, but
All right. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. No, I got options. Either that or I'll buy
you
a ticket to Russia and get out of here. So
give it a shot. Well,
Smart
thanks
move.
for calling. Have a good
peace.
night.
yeah, no problem. Take it easy, guys. Yeah, but definitely if you're booking out here, look at Ernie November's. They'll set you up.
All
They got
right.
Can do.
Ernie November's, Brett. Write that down. I just texted it to my wife. Ernie November's. I'm looking. Somebody said a Honda Del Sol is what I should look up.
Yeah, those are cute.
Did you call them cute? Remember, I was
the Del
thinking about
Sol
this
is
car.
super cute. KYOOT.
I was looking at.
I'm
this
thinking
car.
more S2000.
I think I figured out like another classic car I want to get someday. Oh, that is a nice the Del Sol is like I want to get like a late 90s Beretta and like yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. And then get it because this dude I grew up with, man.
We got to
and
put chrome flares, dude.
Yeah, this dude I grew up with was so cool, man. Well, he wasn't that cool because he was kind of a jerk a lot of times, but like he drove a Beretta and
It goes hard. There's a body kit on this one. It looks pretty hard.
yeah, you just get a nice
The Indy Pace car. Okay, so there's a 1990 Chevy Beretta Indy Pace car that is sickening. It looks good. I'm down with that.
I know.
I'd
And
fuck with that.
Back then, that was like a real tight thing they used to do sometimes is like if they were having trouble like selling maybe a model of car, they would just put official pace car of something on the side of it and people would be like, oh, okay, well, I mean, it's a pace car. So
Yeah, they get one every year. I mean, it probably costs a ton of money.
yeah, but I mean, they just mean I'm looking at a Miami'd out Beretta right now.
Yeah,
90
yeah. Fucking
Chevy
turquoise.
Beretta.
So perfect.
Turquoise blue with fucking pink writing on it. And
Yeah,
it's like, damn.
I think the best thing to do for National Day of Mourning on Thursday would be to get a B-2 bomber and use it on like Mount Rushmore.
I would do that.
I won't think the plane should be used on people, but they could be used as like construction tools for sure. And just getting rid of some of the buildings that like have like the halls of power. Some of those like just have to be deleted. I was actually over on the east side. I had a weird moment when I was going to Bargain Galore because like it's all rubble over there. There used to be like that movie theater and there was an outlet store and there was a CD game exchange over there. Funko. There was like Funko Land. Like there's a lot of shit over there that I remember that I spent all my time at, and it's like completely flattened now. But we could do the same with like other buildings, because I actually like the Finish Line Outlet and the video game store, but like the Supreme Court, I don't like,
No.
or like the
I mean,
military,
Supreme Court,
like the Pentagon, that would be a good idea, maybe, to just delete it with its own stuff.
yeah, the B2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One last ride, that would be the one to go out with. That's the Independence Day style.
Yeah, and you could do something really rad, and like, I mean, like, I just look at the B2 bomber, and I'm like, imagine what you could do with, like, you could paint it, give it like a fucking real fly color or something like that. It's honestly just a cool looking. It was. I just remember, you're right. Back when that fucking thing came out, like, they were putting it on TV every day.
Yeah,
like, this is the goddamn. And then, like, I remember, like, people would make fun of it, and they're like, oh, it's an ugly plane. And I remember just thinking, like, that ain't an ugly plane, man. That's probably the most stylish looking plane I've ever seen in my life.
That's hot.
Yeah.
And like you said, I mean, people have pilot's license, and we could just take them as part of like the people's library, so that pilots could rent them, for just a little jaunt, for the weekend, or for 21 days, however long vehicle rental is,
Could also
just like Lamborghini Countach. Everybody gets a chance to rent a Lamborghini Countach. You just got to wait in line.
Could also make it easier to get a pilot's license, which is something that I would, put in there.
The library would just teach everybody how to fly planes.
Yeah.
The library
because
would do that.
To me, it seems, I don't know. Like, I feel like a person could watch YouTube videos and figure out how to fly an airplane. I don't think it's
impossible.
It's
a video game. It's a video game called Microsoft Flight Simulator. And with it, you can change the course of history.
But you also but if you were doing that, you would have to, I guess, like, that's the way it could work, right? Is like, so let's make a insane price. We're talking about $3,000. Okay. Is how much this game costs. Okay.
Okay.
And basically it comes with an actual real cockpit thing. And then you play Microsoft Flight Simulator in that cockpit in your house. And once you can prove you beat the game, you got your pilot's license. Boom.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's in this pandemic age. You could still be having people getting their pilot's license without all the, rigmarole and shipping container issues that we're all hearing so much about this year.
We'll get more cars off the road, get people, flying across the country instead of driving and congesting, other traffic.
Congesting the skies. Right?
Yeah. Let's congest the skies instead. Let's move the congestion skyward. Let's get foolish people. Let's get fucking let's get an average American piloting airplanes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's why flying cars, like, people were like predicting when I was young, like, oh, they'll definitely have flying cars. And I'm like, there's never going to be flying cars because we can't let people fly around. If anything, and this is if they could figure out how to make things happen, we might be able to get like a jetpack situation that's not like an actual jetpack, like, because you can't give people jet engines on their back, but like something where you could like it's almost like a Segway where you can like kind of fly around just barely up.
Like I think a drone helmet, like a helmet that has drones on the top of it, like Inspector Gadget style, and you would just fly around with a controller that way.
You could, I mean,
the big ass umbrella hat. Fuck yeah. A very classy bowler with that pops open and then a drone blade comes out and takes you away.
I feel like I can make that now though, if you gave me like a big amount of money.
Yeah, they're already doing it.
You could buy like a helmet or a hard hat of some sort, and then you could tie drones to it, like 4, 5, 6 of them. And then I guess you'll need 4, 5, or 6 people to run the remote controls for the drones. But then, you're flying around with a helmet and 4 drones.
Yeah, I mean, we talk we always come back to the same place though, which is that everybody should be driving one of those like vehicles that's a big fan with a parachute. Like that should be the flying. It just be that low level parachute car. Like that's what really most people need to like get to work and shit. I mean, it would make the commute so much easier if I could just get in one of those. What are those things called? A fan car? What is it?
Gyrocopter.
Gyrocopter? No way.
Gyrocopter, I believe is what they're called.
Okay.
Maybe. I might be wrong.
No, gyrocopter is sickening. That looks like some Elon Musk stuff.
It's not. It doesn't look like anything like an Elon
gyrocopter
Musk.
Looks cool as fuck. It's very sleek. I'm talking about open air hillbilly, just a big fan with a parachute. What is that fucking thing called? You can get them at like Sam's Club sometimes.
What?
Yeah. What is that called? You know what it is, dog. You've seen it. It's just like a cage, like a dune buggy or like a go-kart cage with a gigantic fan on the back. And then there's a parachute above you.
It's that catches paragliding.
Is that okay?
It's paragliding, and I don't think they sell them at Walmart though.
Sam's Club has them.
You can get one for $5,000.
Okay, that's cheap. That's less than my car.
Yeah. I don't think you can get anywhere really fast in it though, dude. That's where your issue comes in.
What's that?
I think it takes a long time to get anywhere with a paraglider.
Yeah, but one of them's like funner.
I'm looking here, and you could use Klarna to get one, and then you'd be all set.
Okay, now we're talking. Yep.
Yeah, you don't even need the
$60 a month. Not a problem.
Affirm. You got to get Affirm, and then boom, you're all set.
Oh wait, I'm getting close. I'm getting really close to the name of it. I found it. I found a picture of it.
Okay.
But I want to know what
click
they
the
refer to it as.
Right.
Powered parachutes is all it says.
Powered parachute. Right click the picture and click save as and send it to everybody and say, this is what I want for Christmas.
Yeah, please get me a powered parachute. I'm going to be moving a gigantic vehicle down my steps, fighting with it down my apartment steps. Yeah, to just go fly above the Columbus skyline.
The fan is so big, dude.
It rocks. It's so loud, and you it's all bugs in your face too. There's like no protection from anything, so you're just fucking eating the sky and all the shit that's in there.
Aerolite or paramotor is the other name for it.
A paramotor?
Yeah.
I'm looking at Easy
Fly.
Yeah, they go. They're sick. Like in
the problem with the
country people have them. I always see like somebody trades them at like salvage days in Johnstown, Ohio. Like someone will get one by trading in like an old gun or something, and then there'll just be some hillbilly flying through the air on Saturday afternoons. There was a guy in my neighborhood that had one. There was a guy in the neighborhood that had one, and you'd sometimes see him just fucking flying in the sky, looking so free.
You didn't even live in a place where they should be flying those. No. Yeah, you have never lived at a place where I would think people could fly them.
No.
Because I know where you grew up.
Well, maybe he came from the country. Maybe he just flew that far over. I mean, it's not too far away. Because like you get rural real quick. I was even thinking about that being at Bargain Galore on the east side. It was like I'm on the deep east side where it's like almost just corn shit going on, country shit.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like where I grew up out there. Is like I'm pretty close to, I mean it's such a weird place to grow up out where I was, because like half of the school district was rural and the other half was like in the suburbs area where there were a lot more people, so it was like farm boys and then lower middle class suburbs.
Right.
And working class. So
all right.
Very fun.
Let's get these calls
to live in.
We got some calls.
Let's get this bread.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to?
Hey guys, it's Labor Lift.
Labor
Howdy.
lives, brother. We haven't heard from you in a while. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. I think it's been something like 6 months.
Yeah, it has. Well, what's going on?
Well, it's been about 2 jobs since then. I thought I'd call in and talk to you guys about some shitty chain gyms.
Oh,
nice.
Can you name names, or you got to keep that on the low?
Oh yeah, I'm naming names, man. I gave them a no-notice resignation. They're not hiring me back one way or another.
Nice.
All right, let's hear it, Labor Lifts. Let's hear one. I'm excited to find this out.
So for anybody listening who doesn't know me or didn't hear me call in before, I work as a personal trainer. I recently started working at a new gym because I gave my no notice resignation and quit LA Fitness because they
Nice.
fucking suck.
Quick thing. I feel personally that there's no such thing. I mean, a no notice resignation is how all resignation should go. But I get why you're making the thing. I always assume that anybody that listens to Street Fights doing a no notice resignation.
I mean, you're probably right. I'd agree we should probably just be able to get up and go. But this was like, I got home at the end of the day one night and just thought, there is no way I'm ever getting up and going back into that gym. And I just sent them an email saying pretty much exactly that.
Just because what did they make you do?
Well, I started in the personal training side there.
Uh-huh.
And first of all, LA Fitness is charging about double what your average gym does for the exact same thing. So if you're wanting like 1 half-hour training session a week, right, they start you at $220 a month for 2 hours of training in the full month there. Which is, it's about double the going rate, but go ahead.
Okay. All right. I might need a package deal on that. Maybe me and 2 of my friends, me and Brett, can come together.
We'll share.
Yeah, we'll share a trainer.
Well, we ended up doing shit like that to try and actually sell this stuff to people because it's so overpriced. But at the same time, for that 30-minute session, which is probably costing the person who's training, the customer, like $50, maybe 45. The trainer's getting about
$8 an hour, like $8 or
$8 for a 30-minute session that the client is paying like $45 or $50 for.
Yeah.
God, it's funny. Well, it's not necessarily funny, but it is like a thing. Earlier, late last week, the WWE, the wrestling company, released more people. They've fired 80 people since the pandemic has started. Plus, that's just 80 people on TV. They also laid off a lot of the people that work in their office too. And somebody was asking a former guy, Daniel Bryan or Brian Danielson, they were asking them about, asking him what his thoughts were. And he brought this thing up where he said, if I want to quit, they have a 90-day non-compete and they don't even have to let me out. But anytime in my contract, they can just fire me and I don't have a job anymore. And I have this non-compete clause that they exercise for 90 days. And that's like the way I always thought about giving notice when you quit your job. I understand the sentiment behind it and stuff. And I understand, I've always felt like if you want to do the notice as a gentleman, as a gentlemanly thing or some kind of thing like that, then yeah, go ahead, do the notice, but that it shouldn't be a requirement to like make you look good when you get another job that you give notice, because they don't have to give you notice if they lay you off or fire you. They just fucking do it and you're done and you don't have a job anymore. It's a little rant there.
Yeah, and I've always given at least like a 1 week before, just so, you know, my fellow workers have a little notice. They're not trying to scramble to cover for me. But in this case, I was doing the training, I was making shit money, and you're on a shitty schedule, right? You're only being paid for the sessions, and that's whenever people want to book them. So to try and make enough to live, you're usually working before people go to work or school and after they go to work and school. You have these long days with a split schedule. But the guys on the sales side, because LA Fitness is one of the only places where training and training sales are separate. You're not doing both jobs. The folks on the sales side, they liked me and they came and they said, hey, if you want to make enough money to survive, come on over to sales. We'll get you all set up. And the pay structure for sales is even more insane. And if I hadn't done labor organizing for so long, I don't think I would understand how it could possibly be legal. But what they do is you have a base rate of pay of about $4 an hour before your commissions. And then if in a pay period that doesn't total up to minimum wage, they graciously round it up to that because they legally have to. So you're sitting here trying to sell people on the same training every other place has for double the price. And the first couple of sales you make don't even count toward anything because their base pay is so low.
So, I mean, it's funny that you bring this up, because like the thing about the big chain gyms is, and you know, this is just from my experience as when I was a cable guy, it's like when you hear stories about the most hated businesses, cable guy is usually up there near the top, and chain gym is another thing that's like up there near the top. People fucking hate them.
Scumbag shit. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, like Planet Fitness and LA Fitness and those places like that. It's like I've never signed a contract at one because I'm fucking terrified of what they're gonna do with my credit card number.
Yeah, and I mean generally the thing they're gonna do is just call you all the time and try and sell you on more shit. I mean, at least the place I'm at now, all the contracts are month to month, so you can cancel whenever. But, you know, a lot of them will try and lock you into that. And the pandemic made it so much worse because LA and Planet Fitness and the gyms like that took that time when all the gyms were shut down, when they had to be, to go ahead and buy up every single one of those little gyms that they could. So like versus 2 years ago now, there are a lot fewer little small gyms and a lot more of these shitty ass, you know, Planet Fitness, LA Fitness, with their skeezy business practices and all that stuff. They really swept the floor with all the tiny gyms when things closed down and other places didn't have the money to keep it afloat.
It's also wild when you talk about, like, when you were describing the breakdown of where the money goes for like the trainers and stuff like that. It's like, this fucking company is ripping people off and they still won't give me any money. They're like ripping the people that come in and work out there off, and they're ripping the employees off.
And they don't pay you enough to keep your mouth shut. It's not like, hey, we're fucking ripping them off, but like, you get some money, okay? We got a little bit extra. We'd rip them off. Like, we're in this together. No, they're just like, fuck you, we're ripping you off too.
You can max make $16 an hour. The maximum you can make is $16 an hour in that situation. And are you, as a trainer, fighting with all of the other trainers for the customers, or is that like a formalized thing where like there's like a list I don't know, like some kind of a rotation or something.
Yeah, so that's one of the only advantages there is training sales is separate from the trainers. Most gyms, if you're a trainer, it's your responsibility to go talk to people, make the calls, bring in your own customers, and you're fighting with all the other trainers for a limited supply of clients.
I'm sure
LA, it's a different department that's trying to sell it, and then they divvy them out to the trainers. But there's absolutely room for favoritism there. You know, if a salesperson doesn't like a trainer, then yeah, they're probably not going to pass on any clients there. There's just as much drama.
I'm also sure it really helps when, you know, other trainers are approaching people. The whole like everybody in the gym has been approached by a trainer, and then you just walk up and they're like, no, nope, no. Or like do my thing where you leave your headphones in and you just keep moving, and like you're just like, it's the headphones, you know, but don't point at the headphones, just don't acknowledge that you heard a person. Like that's the move I do. But like I'm sure that's the fucking thing too, because like they were the AT&T or no Spectrum, the cable company out here had people in the grocery store standing at a table stopping people as they went to the pharmacy, which I thought is a hell of a place to put because of the vaccinations and people needing medicine and stuff like that. They had Spectrum standing right near the pharmacy, and like they were stopping. You had to walk that way to get to the cash registers, and they were just stopping everybody that went by. And every time I saw it happen, the person that they stopped looked miserable and was just trying to get away. And like, I assume that's probably what it's like a lot of time at the gym when you're a trainer trying to get a client.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm doing now. I'm working at a smaller, but still a chain of gyms. And yeah, I'll go in at the beginning of the week. I'll print out a list of all the people who signed up, and by like midday on Monday, that list has been picked over by all the trainers there. It's rough.
That is, yeah. That's tough. That is tough. And you're not like, I'm sure also for you, you're not like a sales guy. You're a trainer. Like,
no, fuck no.
You don't, yeah. Yeah. You like didn't, I don't know. Did you like practice? I mean, how have you prepared yourself to sort of sell training? Like, is it just like maybe you can get a job at a gym and they'll assign you people? Is that like the hope, or is it like just going to be a hustle?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they were doing at LA Fitness, but you have to deal with all that shit, you know, in return. So it really is just a hustle thing. And I'm not a hustler. I'm not competitive at that. I'm trying to make, so far, I'm just trying to make my niche as the one guy the folks at the gym know is not going to bullshit them. And I get the advantage of being a night owl when a lot of fitness people get up at the ass crack of dawn. So I can be the late night guy a little bit.
That's smart though. That's smart. See, I would have never thought of that. But if you're a night person and you can just hang around, you're like, I'll fucking work at 1 a.m. I don't give a shit. Then that gives you a sort of power in a way, I guess.
Exactly. All the guys who are the last ones to leave the gym, they all know me. They all know who to come to. And that's the advantage I'm trying to work right now. It's still rough, man.
Yeah, it's tough, but you're doing okay. Like everything's going okay.
Yeah, I'm pinching pennies a little bit, but business is picking up. Once the new year comes around, that's when everybody signs up for the gym and business will be good.
Nice.
Yep, that's when
it's
I'm
like
planning.
Tattoo artists at tax season.
Yeah, I mean that's when I'm planning to sign up for the gym is January, maybe December.
Yeah, I heard you on Radio Free Tote Bag talking about lifting through the winter, right?
Yeah, I mean lifting and probably doing some kind of cardio through the winter, just trying not to feel gross.
Lifting is
Like,
the best way to do it. I mean, it tightens you up and makes you feel way different than cardio shit does.
yeah.
It unlocks something primal inside of you. It's the best feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I went and did it recently.
but it's definitely a different feeling.
I went to Planet Fitness recently, and it was weird because like you're not allowed to touch anything, and they're still kind of a little weird about the people were still weird about protocols and stuff, but overall, still a very odd place to work out. Just it's a weird place. I don't know how to explain it. Sorry.
Yeah. Is it the purple place?
Yes, that is something odd about it as well. Is it disorienting? It feels like you're inside of like a cartoon.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Don't make your thing that you're purple.
I love purple. It's my favorite color.
Is it?
It is, absolutely.
I mean, but making it like your brand and like not even like I think it's fine to make it even your brand. I'm saying that like a place that you walk into.
Yeah, it's hard to do on
not
the walls.
be all. Yeah, you don't want the whole place to be purple when you walk in. That's too freaky.
I mean, as far as gyms go, people who lift a lot are going to make fun of Planet Fitness. But if you are broke and you just got $10, I'm not going to fault anybody for that, right? It's got the same as every other place.
No, yeah, I did fine, but it is funny just to see there's a lot of people just making their own shit up sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's funny is like so many people like probably they think the trainer thing is like for rich people and that they think having a trainer is like, unnecessary and is like some big luxury, but it's like, well, you need somebody to like teach you how to do this stuff.
Yeah, it's not inherent. This is not like a natural phenomenon.
But I mean, when I was growing up, if you wanted to lift weights, you just basically, I mean, all the guys I knew that lifted weights just like lifted weights. They didn't like have like a diet or anything like that, or they just had a weight bench out in front of their house and they would just, be like, I'll just lift this 100 pounds 50 times.
Everybody that does self-taught curls, they like swing them with their fucking arm because they want to do really big ones. So they don't do any workout. They just like throw their back out.
Yeah, and then they get bicep tendonitis in a few months and come crying to me.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I know that I have to have a trainer when I go to a gym because I know that there's like almost no possibility that I would get it right. Because I'm already like super clumsy. I'm floppy as a way that I could be described. Like this girl in high school used to call me floppy. And that's how I've always like sort of saw myself as like, if you like hit me, my whole body will just sort of flop and I'll fall down or something.
Yeah, I've seen you buckle a few times.
Yeah, I mean, we had this thing. Gwen has like been up my ass about this thing, but like when she's driving and we hit a bump, I just let my whole body go. I just don't tense any muscles, and I'd like, I'll and she's like, why do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have anything else to do when I'm not driving. I hate when I'm not driving.
Right.
So I'm flopping around, my mans. You would think that would mean I'm flexible, but my wife was trying to get me to stretch yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And I had told her like, okay, you know what? Earlier today I was stretching. And she was like, oh, she's always trying to get me to stretch. That's her main dream for me, is that one day I decide to stretch.
Yeah.
And I go,
Kama Sutra, man. That's the way to go.
I don't think that's what she's getting at, but I mean, if it was, I would learn that. I would learn the Kama Sutra for my wife in a second. Okay.
Yeah, I believe you.
But anyway, like, so I was like interlacing my fingers behind my back and doing that thing where you lift your arms up behind your back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the oldest style stretch, right?
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, it's like what the guys in the unitards that lifted the weights with the big balls on the end instead of barbells. It's like that's what those guys did to stretch.
Yeah, you say
And then-
like hop before you do it.
I mean, every fitness thing I fucking know is up type business.
Yeah, just smack your hand, say hop, and then do the next thing.
Eat
And
a
lets everybody know
hard-boiled
it's like-
egg and a pickle in between each exercise. But she was like, put your hands above your head and do something. And I just was like, oh, this hurts. So I gave up. But I've been real stiff lately. I'm going to try not to be stiff, you know?
Yeah.
Well, hey,
It would be amazing.
I
If you
mean,
could do the splits, dude,
quick
like
version of the
if you could do the fucking splits,
the
it would
quick
be
version of the
amazing.
tip here is if you're not warmed up yet, just do some flopping around, wave your arms and legs around. That's close enough to a dynamic stretch, and do those after you work out. It's gonna hurt when you're not warmed because your body's all tight.
Something I've been wanting to do, Brett, I've moved past the splits. Okay. Even though I never learned it, but I've moved past it. Now I want to do the crab walk. You know what I'm talking
Okay.
about?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind doing a kip up. Those are my fitness goals.
That's a
crab walk
classic.
and kip up. I'm going to do a kip up. And then if I start doing that, people be going fucking nuts, man. Everybody's talking about the unitard again.
You can
The singlet again.
yeah.
If there's enough demand for me to start wrestling singlet only fans, I'll do it.
Yeah,
but I'm
private
not just
club.
giving it away free.
Coming to your local BDSM dungeon. Brian's gonna put on the singlet. He's gonna do the crab walk. He's going to do the splits, and then if you pay him money, he's gonna hit you with a stick.
A fucking kendo stick. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. One of
Most deadliest, most painful weapons.
I know. I can't wait to get on stage and have you slap me with a kendo stick. It's going to be the best day of my life.
It's exhilarating.
I know. It's so fun getting slapped around with a stick or something. It's like when you break, like when somebody fucking really slaps you with something and it breaks, you're like, God damn, man, that was pretty powerful of me.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel when you broke the easel over my back when it was over. I was like, that kind of hurt, but I feel like very strong right now. So that's a good feeling. Or when we performed in the wrestling ring,
Right.
and they said, do not do moves on each other, which that seemed unfair, but I get it's an insurance thing. That's but they immediately, the first thing they said is don't do moves on each other. So we ran the ropes and I fucking was running the ropes and my back hit the middle rope and it hurt like death. Right.
Mhm.
I finished the show.
Man, yeah, that hurt.
Yeah. Oh God, it fucked me up. But I finished the show and then it was over. I was like, it was worth it to run the ropes, you know. I'll just go to the doctor and tell him I pulled my back in a wrestling ring running the ropes. So
Yeah.
I had my partner Irish whip me into the ropes. We could have done an Irish whip.
I know we could have got away with that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Well,
it was hard as
lifts-
fuck. Yeah.
Labor lifts, thank you for calling. It's good to hear from you and good luck getting work in this economy.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'm gonna try and get back to calling every so often and let you guys know how it goes. But
Yeah,
Brian, if you
it's
want
great to
any
hear
tips
from you.
as far as the lifting, just go ahead and hit me up on Twitter. And if it's too weird working with the listener, I can point you in the direction of some other folks. Same goes for
I'm
any
not
of the
weird
listeners.
I love the listeners. It's not weird working with the listener. I have a guy that I'm gonna go to. I already have it all planned out, or I think it might be a woman, but like my friend.
So how
He's-
planned
he's-
out is it? Is it that planned out if you don't know?
I guess not. I mean, it's planned out as in I have a friend that goes to a gym and was like, hey, they'll give us a deal and all this stuff. And I was like, all right, that sounds tight. Maybe I'll go. And he's looking good as hell right now. Last
Okay.
time I seen him, I was like, damn, you are not doing too bad for yourself, sir. So now I'm hoping to look like him,
Yeah.
Fucking down to like a
Well,
good
hell yeah,
fight
get those
point.
gains.
Get a hard body. You know what I'm saying? Like become a hard body. Do they still call guys that? Like a stud or like a beefcake?
Yeah. After years of effort, and only if your body type is it can do it. But yes.
Well, I'm gonna tell the trainer that my goal is to do it in 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, everybody in January says that. That's what everybody in January says. I need to transform my whole life. I like to redo the last 20 years of not exercising in 6 months, if you don't mind. $45 a session, sure, that sounds good.
Candy, less candy. Hey, can I undo all the candy I've been eating?
I need you to follow me around with binoculars. If you see me eating candy, run in the house and slap it out of my mouth.
Thank you. Or you could just be outside with a gun, and when I pick up a snack cake, you can shoot it out of my hands.
Right. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I'm looking to start
to hear
advertising that service pretty soon. But
yeah,
you guys have
I mean,
a
you're
great
gonna
night,
have
right?
to. Yeah, you have a great night. You're gonna have to learn how to shoot, but it might be worth it.
It's always worth it.
God damn, yeah. Having somebody shoot it out of your hands would be fucking.
All right, I get it.
Dude.
I get it. I'm
All
done.
right, fine.
I'm done. I get it. I had mine already. I'm done.
You blew up my fucking snack cake right out of my hands. Poof. My peanut butter scrimpet. My butterscotch scrimpet. I'm sorry. I got that wrong.
Somebody
Philly talk.
Somebody gave me all the almond joys that were left over from Halloween. I was like, God damn, you ungrateful bastards.
I like Mounds and
they're-
Almond Joys.
They're both good. But
Fuck yeah.
Almond Joy has nuts.
Yeah, that's why I like the Mounds better.
Because it doesn't?
Yeah.
You're worried about the California water system and the production of almonds?
No.
Okay.
Somebody in the chat asked, is Brian still on the mellows? No, I'm off the caramellos.
Do you want to feel mellow?
My new thing is Hostess brand
Okay.
cinnamon mini bunt cakes.
Hostess brand cinnamon mini. Wow. Is it a 2-pack?
No, it's a 10-pack.
Little 10 little mini buns?
Yeah, they're mini bunt cakes.
Like golf ball size? How big?
Yes.
Just loose
Probably
in a
golf
bag?
ball, maybe no, they fucking wrap them individually wrapped.
It's like a little Debbie thing?
Yeah, kind of. I also got some butter cookie flavored mini muffins today. Just curious about that because I always liked butter cookies growing up. I know everybody thinks I like plain stuff, but butter cookies, I used to love them, and I love mini muffins, so I was like, I'm gonna get some of those. And then I also got some those peanut butter candy cake tasty cake gimmicks.
Yeah,
I got some of those too. I'm just having them around so that I have access to them.
Like
so,
yours on your day bed or like your lounge chair, just grab from a bowl of them.
It's the other thing I'm really into now though, and this one is kind of bad. Like Gwen hates them and everybody else hates it, and but Chewy Chips Ahoy, Reese's Cup, Chewy Chips Ahoy.
Wow.
Very into those right now.
That's like a Doritos Locos Taco Bell thing.
Well,
Like
yeah.
that's like a crazy comp. I mean, the Chewy cookies are like so amazing because they're just almost cookie dough, but not really. Yeah. But they just live in like that hybrid state of like liquid and solid.
That's a good point, man. Like, I remember I was alive when Keebler Soft Batch came out. And it revolutionized, it changed the game. And it might have actually what it might have actually done is altered my future in a way. Because I remember trying those the first time and just saying I don't ever need a crunchy cookie again.
Yeah. Don't keep those cookies in there too long now.
I want them to be soft all the time now. No, do not hand me something crunchy. And then now it's gotten to a point where I don't like nothing crunchy. Nothing.
Wow.
I don't eat any crunchy foods. Well, wow. I bought Funyuns today. And
good choice.
I might eat some of those, but
Yeah, that's a little different category. Crunchy dessert is a different thing. Like those Tate's cookies are like, those are hardcore crunchy, like Captain Crunch level crunch.
Yeah. And Funyuns are like the Funyuns are like the caviar of chips because they're never on sale and they're always $5. You can't get them for less than $5.
When I worked at the call center, they had soft batch cookies in the vending machine, and it would legit be like a commercial where I would like take a bite and just like kind of faint against the vending machine and like clasp my chest and just feel like it's a moment of ecstasy and joy in the middle of this pure fucking hell of working on the phones, you know, for $10 an hour, getting called all the worst names in the world and treated like shit.
Yeah, man. When I was in the call center, and this bums me out, I even remembered the brand name and everything. And I Google it every once in a while to see if I can get my hands on some. But Mrs. Freshly's used to make German chocolate cakes.
Ooh,
that they
really?
sold in the machine.
What?
It's a little snack cake, German chocolate style.
Wow, I've had that for my birthday cake several times.
I do every year. So I'm Googling the fuck out of Mrs. Freshly's German chocolate. It's like it never existed. It's like you can't find it anywhere. But fucking I ate one every day for like a solid period of my life when I worked at the call center. So
yeah, I mean the snack cakes are the only way you can do that stuff. It just is some sort of reward pellet. Yeah. Just everything feels sweet for a moment. It just feels nice. All right, we got some calls. Let's see, how much time do we got left? All right, we gotta wrap it up. If you're on the line, we'll get to you. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to?
Hey y'all, it's Goblin calling back after a while.
Howdy,
Goblins. How's your legs feeling?
My legs are feeling all right. I'm honestly kind of surprised that I'm not in more pain, considering what I just did to my body over the past 6 months. But
yeah, so you gotta hit a groove eventually.
Yeah, are you like bored or like what's going on now? Because Goblin walked the Appalachian Trail and or Appalachian, however you say it. I'm not gonna try to get on anybody's shit or anything.
Tomato.
Yeah, but I'm asking, like, how do you cool out now? Like, are you relaxing or like, do you feel like you need to be moving all the time?
Well, there was a relaxation period, but I'm kind of getting back into the feeling a need to be moving period.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I'm like that every day. So what else is going on, buddy? How's everything going?
Well, just kind of been, I guess, dwelling in just kind of hanging out in the same place, kind of waiting for the next thing. I might be starting another walk early next year. I'll get back to that.
So you just like start planning for the next one.
Yeah. I might talk about that later, but first I want to talk about what I've been up to this past weekend.
Okay, go for it.
All right. So I'm at a point where I don't particularly want to actually get a job because for a few reasons, not the least of which is I think just constant misgendering would be exhausting, and there's not really a minimum wage place around here that I can expect a little better from. So I'm still kind of like figuring some stuff out in that way, but I took a bit of an odd job this weekend. So the theater company my family is involved with does a little collaboration with the zoo, Riverbank Zoo in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay.
So around this time of year, the zoo kind of does like a holiday lights type thing. So you're like generic Christmas stuff. They put up the lights, they play the music. And so the theater folks, that's my family's involved with will like go up and dress up as your different Christmas characters. So like your elves, your gingerbread men.
Nice.
And just wander around the park and have people take pictures with them.
Okay. You digging that?
It's pretty interesting. I've only done it a couple times. I did it twice this weekend and might do it a couple times more the next couple weeks. It's not much. It's $20 for the night, and basically how it goes is every hour we just go out for like a 30-minute shift, and then once we're done, just go to the break room and fuck off for a bit, then do it again the next hour.
You know,
I mean,
as a fellow former costumed performer, I gotta tell you, it wasn't the worst job I ever had. For those that don't know, I was Chuck E. Cheese for a period of time. And it's literally like, I don't know, it's better than like doing something like more, I don't know. People think it sounds like an intense job or whatever. And it is weird when people like try to hand you their kids and have you hold them to take a picture. That's like an odd thing that people do. But like most of the time, it's kind of fun to do. Nobody knows who you are, so you can really just mess around and just have a good time. Yeah, it's fun. It's like performing.
I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed it. It's like I'm glad that we had opportunities for breaks and all, but
and hanging out with the kids is like, I don't know. There's something, even if you're a person that's like, I don't know, I don't feel comfortable around kids. There is something about making them happy that I think anybody can be like, oh, you know, hey. And like some of them probably believe you're really the real person. Like if you're playing an elf or whatever, it's like, look, it's an elf. And you're like, stupid head, you know, but yeah. As long as you don't get beat up by the kids, it's a good job, you know. They could pay more.
Well, I didn't get beat up by kids yet. If I work some busier nights, that might be a thing. But I have had some interesting encounters so far.
Yeah, like with mean kids or just.
I should say, I'm the Grinch. That's who I'm going as.
Oh,
so it's a full costume. Yes, indeed. So it's full costume with a big head, and in that costume, like it really is like the I think you should leave prank show sketch. Like if you can't see anything, everything feels too big on you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So
same with Chucky.
Actually had someone. Yeah. So we actually had someone who, since it was that night, someone who was not in was in costume, but didn't have a head on, would sort of be my eyes, like just be my periphery vision. I would just follow them.
Yeah.
So the Grinch is probably the most popular of all the costumes. Like all the kids really dig the Grinch compared to just gingerbread cookie.
Yeah.
The world. Yeah. It's a different world now.
He's a more expensive IP, you know, like people don't know how to deal with like things that aren't like some sort of a famous IP. And for other people, that's intellectual property. That's like a law term. That's a show business law term that I use.
And plus, like he has character. Like unlike like Santa doesn't have an arc like the Grinch does. Elves don't have arcs like the Grinch does. He has a moment.
He does actually.
Right.
Do people talk to you like? Do the kids talk to you like they're in the movie?
Yeah. So like different kids will have different conceptions. Like, oh, you're still evil, or oh, I've seen the movie, so I know that your character arc is complete. And I don't speak. I just play along with anything. But the thing that has been getting me actually is the adults.
Yeah. Yeah, they will get you.
two categories of adult. One is just the obnoxious parents who insist that their terrible child have exclusive access to you.
Mm-hmm.
And who
I
say
remember
some
that.
dumb things like, well, Dr. Seuss is a little politically incorrect, so I'm glad that you're still around.
Are those the conservatives doing that?
Yeah, glad to see a canceled character fighting through it.
That's true. That's good though. I mean, you're making the world's worst people happy, but
yeah.
Yeah. But the other category, and this is where I have a more specific anecdotes, are sort of like the light versions of Disney adults, if you are familiar with that concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just children in adults' bodies who think that it's about them.
That is exactly how the adults act. I mean, I know that, like, again, when I was doing Chucky, the adults were the main problem.
Yeah, and it also kind of lends itself. It's kind of one of those career or jobs where people speculate on it. They don't have the guts to do it, but they're like, well, if I was in the suit, like, I would be doing the whole thing. I would know the songs. I would know the catchphrases. Like, I'd be grabbing people's kids and making magical moments. And it's like, why aren't you doing that? Don't you know what you're supposed to be doing? And it's like, I don't get paid anything to do this.
You're totally right, bro.
They would put a fucking robot skeleton inside of this if it was believable enough. Instead, they just pay the minimum wage of the fucking county to get a human inside of it to animate this fucking stuffed animal.
It's like it's like when my father-in-law tells me how to do comedy.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what you ought to do? It's the same thing. They're just like, oh, I'd be going nuts as the Grinch. And it's like, no, you wouldn't.
Yeah, it's a hot ass fucking costume. You think you're gonna be tiptoeing around and like getting all the mannerisms down and like really living as the Grinch, like in your free time and shit so that you can get it together.
Well, for the record, I am, because I'm actually a decent actor. I don't know about some of these other songs.
Oh, I'd rather be the Grinch than me, 100. Like, if I had to be the Grinch, I would just take it on as my new persona.
I'd go off in the Grinch.
Mm-hmm.
Full Grinch. I'm full Grinch, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so one woman, this was last night. I think she was with like some group of like her sorority sisters or something. Like, it was a group of 30-something women. So she was like, I need a picture with the Grinch, and clearly drunk.
Right.
And now I couldn't see what was going on next to me because no peripheral vision in the costume, but I am pretty sure that's like she was trying to make out with the head.
Oh no. Oh no.
She's a bad girl. She's a bad girl that likes Grinches.
Yeah, that's wrong. But I mean, because it's a thing for kids.
Yeah.
I mean, when adults pull that kind of shit, when they're like, oh, hey, Grinch,
like,
why don't you French with me or something?
There's a line of 5-year-old children who it would make their day to come up to the Grinch. So get out the way, ho.
Thank you. Yeah. Finger me,
and there's just no people. That's not, there's somebody inside of there. Think your little dirty thought, your little ribbled idea. But yeah, don't start fucking doing sex stuff with a stranger just because they're in a fucking mascot uniform.
Rent a Grinch suit and put it on your husband or something.
Exactly.
I don't fucking know, your partner. And then you can fucking have the Grinch finger you. You can do anything you fucking want to do with the Grinch.
Do dirty Grinch in my area. Do a search for that and you will get what you're looking for.
I'm sure a Grinch costume probably going to run you to rent a Grinch costume. I mean, this time of year is probably going to be a little more expensive. Just do it in the summertime when nobody's looking for a Grinch costume.
Fatlife.com. Just say I'm looking for a dirty Grinch. Someone will do it. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. That's weird too. I don't want to. Yeah, you're in a context where you're like, you don't care enough. And then you're also, it's a weird position to be in.
You're looking at
And, I mean, luckily-
$89.99 for a Grinch costume. And
That's cheaper than a birthday party.
I know. You could have just bought that, and you could have bought that and put a male stripper in it and just let the male stripper go fucking absolutely bonkers in the house the whole time. But instead, you're harassing the person making $20 to do it.
Yeah, well, it didn't bother me that much. Luckily, I had my handler, for lack of a better word, of just who knows how to break up these sort of situations.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're enjoying it. I look fondly upon my Chuck E. Cheese days. And so I hope you get a lot out of it, to tell you the truth. But also, I wish they'd pay you more. Do you get tips by any chance?
Nope.
Ooh,
$20 a night.
Fuck.
No tips.
And for the record, I looked because the break room that we use also just happens to be the actual employees' break room. So in the room, there was a job posting board for other jobs at the zoo.
Uh-huh.
And so the most entry-level one I could find, which was to be an attendant for the ropes course there, was $8.75 an hour.
Well,
oh, good
so,
Lordy.
Yeah, they don't pay shit.
Yeah, the zoo is, what the zoo is doing, what nonprofits do. Because motherfuckers want to work at the zoo. They're like, oh, dip, I could work at the zoo and look at the apes or whatever all day. And
at least I get to do what I'm passionate about. I'm just an animal lover, I could be wasting away to CVS, or I'll just work at the zoo for fucking nothing.
Yeah, $8 an hour.
That's pathetic.
I don't know.
Get out of bed for $8.
I'm gonna try. Yeah, that's part of my motivation of why I'm not trying to find part-time work right now. Although I'm gonna figure out some way of income. Like maybe I'll have to start like writing more, like start making YouTube videos and so I can put up Patreon or whatever. I don't know. I do a little bit of that already, not much lately.
You could do one of those things like one of those like fundraisers where you go to all your friends or you go door to door and you get people to commit to like donate 10 cents per mile that you walk, and to raise money or something. And then you just, take a little bit for yourself and then you walk 100 miles and then go ask everybody for checks, that they promised.
Well,
that's nice.
Well, that's actually dovetails quite nicely. I'll close out the call by going back to what I said I was going to talk about earlier, which is what the next big walk is.
I'm walking. Yes, sirree, I'm walking. Remember that Get Down?
So,
that was a jam.
Yeah, it went.
So anyway, starting in February, I'm doing a combination of existing trails and just walking on roads that I call the Goblin's Curve.
Ooh.
And so what it consists of is I will be starting just north of Charleston, South Carolina, and walking all the way across South Carolina up to the mountains. And once I'm done with South Carolina, I'll go up north a little bit, actually use the Appalachian Trail again for a little. And then I'm going to walk all the way across North Carolina.
Stop in Asheville. I love that place. It's a hell of a joint.
Oh, I was born in Asheville, and the route I'm taking actually goes right past Asheville. So
nice. I love it. I can't believe you're walking through the mountains, though. I think I would die doing that.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
I hate hills. I don't like hills. I walked 12 miles today. It was raining. Climbed 5 flights. That's it. Just 5 flights, which is, I think, not good, but 12 miles today, 5 flights. Well, Goblin, tell people where to find you, because we got to get the rest of the calls in.
So I'll start with my Instagram because that's where I do most of my posts for this sort of thing, it is at Morning Hayes. Morning as in morning without the G, and Hayes, Hays.
All right. And that's on Instagram?
Yeah, my Twitter, I really don't use Twitter as much anymore because it's a hellhole and I don't enjoy it.
It's a hit.
But I'm at Zoloft Deschanel.
All right. Oh yeah, I just saw you. I read one of your things in the chat, duh.
yeah, that was me.
Well, it's good to hear from you, Goblin.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll keep y'all posted. See if I do any sort of fun fundraiser with the next big hike. Talk to y'all soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Keep it goblin style. Peace.
Keep it goblin style. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, people ride their motorcycles and make money. They raise money doing that. Why not just use your 2 feet? Why not just use what God gave you?
That's what I would do.
The Lord gave you.
Yeah.
All right. 2 more to go. You ready? We're in overtime. So we get bonuses because I don't have enough money for Christmas. So
same here.
So this is now overtime. We get bonus pay.
Was melting down right before the show, looking at my bank account and thinking about Christmas.
It's really Christmas time. We're like, fuck, it really is actually 100%. It's already happening. The shit. I go to the stores, they're playing it like it's here. People are making the plans. I'm getting the texts already, about like what the plans are going to be. Yeah, it's happening, Captain. All right, next call. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hello, is this me?
You would know.
This is you.
Hello. Okay. Hi. I'm calling in. My name's Esri. I'm actually from Columbus. The workout thing actually reminded me of a story at the end about Planet Fitness, or I'll just share it here. That I actually went once during the pandemic, and I didn't feel safe at all. But I kind of went because they restarted everyone's memberships once the society said open it all up. And like, oh, you had a membership before? It's like it wasn't like an opt-in; it was like an opt-out. And then they're also infamous of making it a pain in the ass to make you opt out. And like, have to come in person in a pandemic? No, I wasn't doing that. But
yeah, I understand.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have a story about kind of a funny story about work at UPS. So I'm kind of in the process of like transitioning here in Columbus, and so I've been kind of like finding opportunities to mix more feminine stuff into my wardrobe at work, and colder weather is making it easy because, I mean, I just wear leggings all the time.
Right.
And so it was actually this last Wednesday, it was like 67 or something here. And so I was like, I'll wear my thinnest leggings, but it's still going to be hot. And so I picked up like a crop top from the thrift store recently, and I brought it to change into. And so it was fine, all well and good. And I'm working, and I start working in a truck, and I walk out of this truck, and I had like a shirt to put over myself, but I just forgot to do it. They were just sending me to another work area. And so I'm kind of walking around the hub in leggings, and leggings are kind of, and I have a belly. So leggings that were like hanging below my belly just to give me like extra room to like not sweat, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm like walking around the hub, belly out in like leggings and a crop top. And then I walk by the store manager who runs the shift, and he basically yells at, chastises me and tells me to put a shirt on. I go to the bathroom, and then because it's a union job, this is how it works. I didn't get in trouble or anything, but after I went to the bathroom and changed, I had like a full-time supervisor and my steward come over to me and just explain like, hey, you got to wear a shirt when you're at work. I'm like, crop top's kind of technically a shirt. I mean, it's half a shirt.
Yeah. I mean, they should say how long the shirt has to be. They should mention that. And, because if you got a power unit up front, it's going to need cold air on it.
Yeah. And I mean, they got fans, but fans sometimes aren't enough, especially when you've got a lot of insulation. And honestly, there's been plenty of women in the summer who are like cis women who wear crop tops, and it's not a problem. But whatever.
Then it's coolio. Then it's open season. You can't complain if you let the ladies do it. It's anybody can do it. Then everybody's loud.
Yeah, I would be like, so you mean to tell me I can't wear a cutoff football jersey like they did back in the early 80s and 70s tour?
I can't wear my mesh jerseys now. It's comfortable.
I guess that's against the rules. I'm working in a goddamn truck. Nobody sees you. That pisses me off so much. That's the thing. When you have a fucking job where nobody sees you, just let people fucking wear a bikini to work. It
However
doesn't
it gets
fucking
done.
matter.
Whatever it takes to get it done. I don't give a fuck. Move the shit.
And usually they don't give a shit about what you're wearing as long as it's not like hateful or offensive, because like everyone's clothes get destroyed at that place. Sure. I wear t-shirts that like one day of there, just like you wouldn't think of it, but just all the dust and grease that's on those boxes, thousands of boxes a day. One shirt goes through there one day. You wear the wrong shirt and you're like, oh, shit, I forgot to change before. This shirt's now going to be a work shirt from now on. And
it changes it forever. It changes the structural makeup of all of your clothing.
Fucks your shoes up so bad.
Like
working in a warehouse fucks your shoes up.
You take crazy. On so much damage. Everything does.
You do take a lot of damage working in any kind of warehouse.
Even like OxyClean won't get out those stains. But yeah, I think the main issue was just like I'm a signed male walking around basically showing my belly. And honestly, the crop top had, because I was bending up and down, it had rolled up. So basically like it was only covering my chest area. So it was like everything between the chest and my hips below the belly was just exposed. So like I get it, and I probably should have walked around with like a covering shirt and I got talked to, but like that's also the story of like how I'm finally like coming out at work and telling them like my pronouns and my name, because I'm like, well, this is awkward. I don't want to like, I didn't get in trouble, but like, I don't want to get talked to about like fucking like what I'm wearing and gender stuff. No, so I'm like,
that's great.
The steward who I
know, I agree. So you're just being 100% comfortable. You're just living out loud, like just doing my thing. I'm working right now. I don't give a fuck what other people care about my appearance. I'm working, I'm trying to get a job done. It's up to them to say, hey, we want you to follow these fucking standards or whatever. But like, yeah, I'm getting my job done. And this is what I do. I dress cute. I'm sexy as fuck. So sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget it, that it bothers, chaste minds.
And yeah, maybe it was also I was cute, but I was also just very comfortable, because it's even with that crop top and leggings in that truck with the fans, and I wasn't even like picking up heavy stuff. It's all those like J.C. Penney and like I don't know which company it was from, but one of those companies that sends a bunch through UPS here. Well, they'll just have a truckload of those we call them poly bags, those plastic bags that you get clothes shipped in. And so I'm just putting like 5, 8, 10-pound bags on the belt, so it's not even heavy, but still just the warmth and the way my body runs hot, I was sweating. But
yeah, I get it. I mean, I used to hang out with people. I used to hang out with dudes that just never wore a shirt ever. Like that just was not, and I'm used to that. It never bothered me. Like there's just friends you have that like don't want to wear a lot of clothes, and like I fuck with it. It's not a problem.
But dude, there wouldn't even, I'll bet you, I don't know. Obviously you have to wear a shirt at work. That's not like, but I would say like 90% of the people, the dudes that are working there would be totally like, if they said you can take your shirt off, like I would say 60% of the people would take their shirts off in the summertime.
Yeah. Especially when you get to undershirts.
And plenty of dudes do that when they're in a truck too.
Yeah, for sure.
I believe it. I believe it.
Take off their shirts and truck, especially in the summer.
Necessary. Totally necessary.
Oh yeah.
It's hell inside of those things. It makes you want to fucking panic.
especially back in the day, until they updated the hub here and expanded it so it does like double the volume with the same amount of work staff, of course, because that's how a corporation works. Well, I think we might have increased our labor force slightly, but before that happened, like when you were loading a truck, they didn't even have fans.
Yeah,
because it was just like
Yeah.
an outdated building.
that fucking sucks. That sucks. You should be allowed to work with no shirt or a crop top or a bikini top or fucking again the half of a high school football jersey. That's a good look, man. That is why I need to get in shape so I can go out and wear the half of a football jersey.
You don't have to be in. You can any shape is fine to wear that. Anybody can wear
No,
that.
no, no.
Actually,
I understand, but to make me comfortable
sure.
in doing it, I would have to get in some kind of shape that I was like, yay, I'm proud of myself, but it'd be, maybe I'll just do it with a shirt under it. You know what I'm saying? Like an
A
undershirt.
long shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the thought that counts, sort of thing. Half a football jersey. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
You're like, this guy's fucking really confident. And then it's like got an undershirt. But
That's like
Hey.
wearing one in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
If anything, they gotta compliment me on the confidence for having a belly and wearing a crop top.
Yeah,
I agree.
They should
I
own up and
agree.
say
Like,
they're
This
yeah,
white, generally conservative dudes,
yeah, I agree.
even though my
with you.
department is generally not.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
gave me the opportunity to be like, well, this is a perfect segue to like talk to that steward who's actually kind of cool, and like I've creeped on his. I've looked at his Facebook and he has like pretty lefty politics himself. So I was like, this is perfect. I'll just come out to him first. And I'm like, hey, remember how we had that talk? Well, that's because I'm like not cis. And he's like, okay, awesome. Just talk to your other stewards in your area and talk to management. So that's hopefully it's peak season coming up. So there's a lot of stuff to worry about, but hopefully I can get the message of like, hey, start calling me Ezra at work so I don't have to also get into the issue of like when the fun thing of when you're not out at work, it's like management calls you something else and like I switched to a new shift. So I'm meeting new people and like workers I hadn't met before. So then I get into this situation, which I actually got into on Monday, and I froze up and quote unquote dead named myself, but I it's still I look at it more as legal name versus dead name, but because they asked like, what's your name? And I just kind of froze up. I'm like, well, I go by Esri, but no one at work calls me that. So if I let this person know what I go by, and then management calls me something else, I get confused, and I just said fuck it. And so it's a brain weird torture thing of like anxiety and just indecision and
yeah. I would say, I mean, I've always feel like with new people, you can be whatever you want. Like they don't know anything about you. Like the hard thing about having longtime friends is that they always remember you, how you were. They hold you to like standards that were applicable like a decade ago. With new people, you can just say, this is who I am. And you can like you can practice the lie. It feels like a lie, or it feels like, I don't know if I want to be that, but like you just profess, who you are, like how you feel right now with new people. So that way you can set the standard towards where you want to be. And then, the other people, they're going to take definitely more effort to convince, but like new folks, like whatever you want to be, like new friends, new acquaintances, any of that stuff, new coworkers, just fucking tell them, lie to them. Tell them this is who I expect. This is the life I expect to. This is the life I expect to live.
It's not even a lie. It's not even a lie to tell them who I am because it is who I am, and legally it'll be who I am.
I didn't mean to say
in a legal
lie.
sense. Eventually, yeah.
It just it feels like a lie. There's just things that I do that were like I don't do that all the time though, and it's like, but I would really like to do that all the time, or I would like to be there, Sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to diminish what you're saying.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying too, though. The imposter syndrome thing. It's like it's like that I did this for like 6 years before I said I was a comedian to anybody ever, it just feels like a lie. I guess, or
But
like,
it's who you are. It really is who
Yeah.
you are. But you're
Yeah.
like, I'm not, yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
I actually have a friend who I've kind of cut out because every time we talk about this, it would just get me imposter syndrome because he knew me in like my most toxic masculine times because we met when I was in a fraternity, which I really just joined because I moved to Columbus and transferred as like a 22-year-old, like sophomore, junior transfer student. And I'm like, I don't have everyone who I knew from high school has graduated, so I guess I got to make new friends. And then I think the thing that actually did it was beginning of the semester jitters, couldn't sleep, and then I went into the involvement fair like dead as a zombie and just signed every single form and then just got hit up by fraternities. I'm like, that's the way to get new roommates.
damn, that
And
is
then
a
I
way
kind
to
of just
meet people.
conformed to all the frat BS, which could be some interesting tangential street fight stories that involve rape culture, because that's even the tiny fraternities that everyone thinks are like the loser fraternities. Yeah, they've got rape culture all throughout them.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I've avoided them like the plague, just like the military.
I never been in one of the houses before. Like I used to think like I didn't even know what a fraternity was, but I'd be like fucking frat boys when I was like 18.
Yeah.
And I would just say it. And like, I probably was even getting it wrong. Like I would point out two dudes on the street and be like fucking frat boys. And they're probably just regular like
College students, yeah.
hillbillies or something, just pointing at people and just so I could be mean with my friends, you know. I
Yeah.
give these frat boys some grief. Well, thank you for calling, and feel free. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sure. I was just saying with the hillbillies on OSU campus versus the fraternities, they're the same people. One group's just a little bit more organized.
That's true. That is
point.
true. Well, thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, last call.
All right.
Last call.
Closing
for
time.
alcohol. Hey, what's going on? You're calling in Street Fight Radio.
Hey, Street Fight. This is George from Middletown, Ohio.
Yes.
George, how's it
OH
going?
is showing up.
Come out there, JD Vance way. He's from out there, JD Vance way, Brett. Middletown. Please don't teach us anything about libertarianism.
I won't. I'm not even from here originally, which is weird because nobody comes here, but I got here by accident. But
Oh yeah, George, you want to hear something?
yeah,
I spent
what?
3 months there, roofing. At one point, I got a job as a roofer,
yeah?
and they were like, "Do you want to travel? We'll give you $20 a day per diem." And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And they were like, "Well, enjoy Middletown, Ohio." And that was where I
Nice.
traveled to, and it sucked.
They got good chilies out there or something?
No, not at that time. They didn't.
I mean, they need roofs out here, so.
Okay.
I haven't listened to you guys for a while, and I was on a cross-country drive from Oregon last week, and I listened to the Sunday episode. And Brian, I think you have an issue that I might be able to help you with.
Okay.
Great news.
Yeah.
Which is, wait, okay, so your shoelace, did you get your fancy shoelaces yet?
Not yet. Nope. I did not buy them yet.
Not yet.
I want to, but I think I'm going to put them on my Christmas list. Fancy shoelaces.
Oh, yeah. That's I mean, it's a good idea, but what are you walking in? Is it boots or is it like sneakers or what?
North Face Trail Runners.
North Face Trail Runners. Do those have
Iron.
metal eyelets and the little metal like hook things, or are they all fabric?
They have the fabric loops and metal eyelets. So both of them.
Combo.
Okay. And when your laces break, are they breaking on where the metal eyelets are? Do you think
They are.
somewhere around here?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the jam, because I'm a once and in the past wildland firefighter, and we go through tons of laces out there, right? Like hiking in the forest. What you do is like go to.
Brian laces his boots like a firefighter.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
One of our brave first responders. I lace my boots like a brave first responder.
Like ready to jump into action. Your feet are secured enough to jump into action like the brave firefighters.
True. And can I ask, like, do your shoelaces just get burned off when you're fighting a fire?
Not usually. Some people spend like the good money on the good boot laces. Like they've got these Kevlar ones. Those are all right. Those are a little bit fireproof. Rarely we're like, I mean, sometimes you'll get into ash, like burning ashes, and those will get pretty hot, but I've never even had like cheapo laces burn through those. I use paracord for laces a lot on my fire boots, but I've never had any issues with them burning. I have had them snap though, and here is why it happens for a lot of us, and here's why it might be happening for you, is that the metal eyelets in your shoes have, they've got like a little burr on them or something. They have a little sharp, just a little bit of sharpness in there that's rubbing on your shoelaces and cutting into them.
That sounds right.
And so what?
Think so?
Yeah. So what we do when somebody has like a new pair of fire boots and they keep breaking laces is you go and you get we carry them in the chainsaw kit, but you take them and you take a round file, or you could just go to a hardware store. I don't think they're that expensive. I don't know, but take a round file. It's just like a small little round file. You've probably seen them before. Probably don't need to explain them to you, but you just take that and you kind of grind at the inside of your eyelets, whichever one is closest to where the break is happening. And that should solve some, if not all, of your issue.
All right.
Okay. That's the move.
I don't have to buy the $15 shoelaces now.
I mean, you still can't. It's still a good investment, I think. But I mean, all paracord laces, just like if you want some shoelaces, just put like get a spool of paracord, like real survivalist paracord. There's like a number attached to it. I don't know what it is, but just ask for a spool of paracord for Christmas, because then you have shoelaces forever, and you have like paracord for you can make bracelets and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, you can connect with your prepper family. That's a great idea to get from your bug out bag in-laws, is say, hey, could I just get a few yards of paracord?
I just bookmarked paracordplanet.com. So I'll be taking a look.
Everything paracord.
Yeah, Paracord Planet.
Ready to go. I'm going to bite this paracord off my wrist and make a tourniquet out of it at this Metro Park where you slipped and sprained your ankle.
I'm getting it. Well, thank you for calling, and thank you for the advice. It is appreciated immensely.
This makes sense. Yeah, I get it.
And thank you for fighting fires. That's one of the good jobs.
Well,
yeah, now I'm just back in Ohio for the winter. So are you guys, I had two questions, and then I'll let you guys go. First off are you guys planning on doing because I called maybe 2 years, I called pre-pandemic, talked to you guys really helped me out because I was having a hard day. But I was trying to make plans to go up. You guys were watching wrestling in a bar in Columbus on certain nights of the week, right? Is that what you were doing?
Used to.
We used to,
but the bar closed during the pandemic. Otherwise, we'd probably be getting ready to go back to doing that.
Half Baked would let us do it for sure.
Do they have cable?
They do have a TVs. Yeah, we could maybe work it. It could happen again.
It could happen again early in the year.
All right, I'll keep an ear out for that. My other question, I don't listen to it. Like I said, I was driving from Oregon back to Ohio, so that's why I caught up on a bunch of podcasts, including you guys a little bit. So I'm not familiar with the podcast sphere, but I was wondering, is there any sort of leftist comedy parenting podcast out there? Because I'm a parent and what?
I was asking Brett. Brett might have guessed it. I thought maybe
I really
guessed it
don't
on
know.
one, Brett.
There isn't one. There definitely should be one. And even with my ex-wife, we talked about it constantly because she was trying to find parenting podcasts, but they were all like religion based.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would love to hear suggestions from people. I don't know of any specifically that are, but there should be.
Absolutely. If you know of one,
I feel like,
yeah, I mean, if somebody knows of one in the chat, maybe, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm totally not sure. Yeah, nobody's giving real answers.
Yeah, I'll take a look. If anybody is interested in talking about starting one for like a month and then just me forgetting about the project, they can hit me on Instagram because I'm a parent.
That's a good idea.
I'm a parent, and I have community out in Oregon who are other like kind of leftist parents, and it's fun to hang out and talk with them. And I could do something with them, but I was just, it's good to meet parents who have common ground with, rather than the kind of parents that I meet at my kids' preschool here in Middletown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it would be nice to hear, people with the same values doing a podcast, because Christian conservative is probably not going to work out for you.
Yeah, it's not my get down.
It's not?
No, it never was.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. We are I'm gonna go watch Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, really?
I think so.
I did see
the TV show.
Yes.
The
television program.
One. Yeah.
I did see there was a TikTok I watched recently of a person that looked older. They were in their 20s or 30s. But it reminded me of Gwen because it was like someone made a prompt like, tell me about all the stuff you hid from your parents. And then this lady was like, I didn't even hide anything from my parents because I could talk to them about anything. Like it got to the point where my mom told me, like, you don't have to tell me everything that you do. Just like in your mind, like some shit, just like keep it close to the chest. Like you don't have to spill it all. But if you create that environment, and they also said that like their friends also would go to their parents to talk to them about stuff that like was uncomfortable to talk about with their own parents. So yeah, the gentle parenting movement is what it's called. But I don't know of any specific podcast or anything like that. It's just
Street by Radio. We're gentle.
Yeah, it's gentle parents.
We're a couple
I sound like an asshole a lot, but I'm really not at all. I'm more actually mad at how gentle I am. I think that's the problem for me, is just being treated like garbage and knowing that like you can be treated like garbage and make it out fine and have a great life, but like not resisting the urge to just do the lowest common denominator of like hitting and passive aggressiveness and like just not being upfront, and lying and restricting and all that stuff. It doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work at all.
No, absolutely not. And
my kid's a dream. My daughter, like my kid is a dream. She just like she doesn't even have any problems that I don't have to deal with shit. Like I asked her to do something, she'll do it, because the rest of her life, like I'm pretty much like trying to get her to feel good and to be like fully realized and stuff. So if I ask her to clean up some plates, she's like, all right, I was allowed to do pretty much anything I wanted to do today. And my dad paid attention to all of my stuff. I asked him to do these activities and he followed through with all of that. I can clean up some fucking plates. I can put my laundry away. It's not like a big ask of her,
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah. And mine's 17 and is a good kid and has not really ever had any rules, basically. So gentle parenting, that's where it's at, baby.
Yeah, it's the way to be. And thanks for listening to Street Fight Radio. We'll be back on Wednesday night before the big day of awfulness. The Thanksgiving.
Thursday.
It's unfortunate. Yeah.
All right. Well, peace.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.